Today we got a YouTuber who also covers like manga and anime. He is a One Piece fan, but he doesn't just cover One Piece. He does all kind of different stuff. You want to introduce yourself?
Of course, thank you for having me. I am Seth, or Seth the Sin as my channel is. We've known each other a couple of years now, both in the AniTuber sphere. I'm looking forward to ranking some One Piece today.
Yeah, it's pretty weird how fast it goes by, because you're right, it's been a few years now.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it.
So there's actually a lot, and let me know if you can see this. There's a lot more arcs than I thought. When I really started adding all these, it was like 20, 21, 22. So I think there's like 32 arcs here.
Yeah, it's insane, like how long the series... Well, it's not insane because the series has been going on for so long, but when you see them all listed out like this, there is quite a few.
All right, double checking something. Yeah, it definitely adds up. Right now I'm rereading the manga on stream, and I've noticed the first arcs, it's crazy how much has changed. Not just all the wacky characters and everything, but it feels like the writings is different a lot in the beginning arcs too, and the pacing and everything. So I thought this would be really cool.
Yeah, you notice a lot with, like, back in the day, Oda used to, like, he'll leave like a whole page for just like a scene of like Luffy walking somewhere, and now every page you've got about 50 different cutaways.
Yeah, and I want to say what's up to FaZe K. I see you in the stream, and then somebody said I couldn't ask what's going on. Just ranking some One Piece arcs. So the first one is Romance Dawn. Since it's been so long, since you probably read or watched Romance Dawn, like what is your memory of it? How do you feel about it compared to the newer arcs?
Romance Dawn's always gonna have a soft spot in my heart. It's always been one of my favorite arcs. Honestly, yeah, I've been rereading a lot. I reread the pre-time skip quite a bit, but I don't know the last time I actually reread Romance Dawn. I'm quite weird, but I'll just read arcs rather than just reading the whole story in one go. I just go back and revisit arcs. Romance Dawn is, in a way, very simple, as we know, but I think it still holds. It's still got some of the most iconic moments in the series, I'd say. It's easily an A for me, just because it's the foundation of so much of the story.
Hey, real quick, do you see the stream working on your end?
Yeah, it's working on my end.
All right, showing us and everything.
Yep, I can see both our lovely faces.
All right, cool. Just making sure, because on mine, the link that I used to watch it, it isn't working, but that's fine if you can see it.
Yeah.
Oh, the smallest PokeTuber, you made it. What's up? Yeah, he's been showing up pretty much every day, so I appreciate the support. All right, so let's get started officially. I was a little worried a little bit. I know I was like kind of awkward because, like I said, it wasn't popping up on my end on my iPad that I used to watch the stream. So I was worried we couldn't see it. All right, so let's start officially. I'm gonna pretend nothing else happened. All right, starting off, we're gonna do Romance Dawn. I like Romance Dawn a lot, and the main reason, I think you kind of mentioned it, the writing is really tight at the beginning, and you could tell Oda was really excited. We know that he did all those other versions of Romance Dawn, and if you read them in order, it's like the second one's better than the first one, and then by the time we get to the official Romance Dawn that got delivered, it's super, super, super tight. So that's really dope. There's two different ways we can rate it. We can either rate it to like how good it was, like reading it from start to finish, or overall counting like all of One Piece, like now that we're caught up compared to the other arcs.
Yeah. So it's either on their own merits or in the grander ones, in comparison to the other arcs.
Yeah, so I would say we should do it compared to the other arcs, because I guess that, makes the most sense to anybody who's caught up. And that's if I'm thinking of someone who's read a bunch of manga and then started Romance Dawn, I'd put it like a S tier type. But because I've read so much of One Piece, I think I would probably put it closer to like A, maybe B or A. What do you think?
I'd probably go A, just because I'm looking at these arcs and there's quite a few I think are better.
Yeah.
And we do it. Well, I've done tier list streams before where the S tiers become the largest tier, and that's not really how tier lists are meant to work.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I'll try my best, and you gotta like hold me to it. I'll try my best to be like harsher, because I hate. There's always something I love in each art that makes me want to put it higher up, but compared to the other ones, is how I'm gonna try to do this.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
All right. So where did you rank this one? You said A?
I'd go A tier for this.
All right, I'm gonna go A too. All right.
The one thing I wouldn't say about Romance Dawn that I find weird, we've all heard the story that Shanks losing his arm was the editor's suggestion to Oda.
Yeah.
But we know in one of the early drafts, he still loses it, but to a shark. So did the editor suggest the shark thing originally?
Oh yeah, okay.
That's always confused me timeline wise. Is did the editor suggest it for the shark, and it's just got conflated to be for the Sea King, or?
No, I see what you're saying. You're basically saying like, did he recommend that Shanks will lose his arm altogether, or did he just recommend that we should up the stakes to like a more mythical creature than just a shark? That's a good question. I don't know, because I did that video on the previous manga and it was a shark early, but I don't know. It was only like 2 years between like 1 year between like Romance Dawn 2 and then the official one. It was like 96 and 97. Or
it wouldn't surprise me if like they've just told the story and just using the Sea King because they assume people will get the point rather than explaining there's a shark as well.
Not for sure. The smallest PokeTuber said Romance Dawn for me is Goda because it starts a start of something great. Yeah, see, that's what we was kind of debating is like in contrast to the rest of the story, it wouldn't be possible without it. But from start to finish, it's kind of short, you know, so it's kind of hard to compare it to all these arcs like Dressrosa, even Egghead, or like Enies Lobby, or all these, or once you get to like Alabasta and the super arcs and stuff. Romance Dawn is solid, but it's just the foundation for what becomes great. And then Kingdom, I think that Limonade Kingdom said hello. What's up? Fazy said, by the way, to elevate the stream, someone needs to reveal his pillow. I mean, I have a One Piece pillow right there, so does that count? I think I know what you're talking about, but here's a One Piece pillow. He's talking about body pillows.
Okay.
I eat cardboard said cheese, what's up? And then Ahmed Osman, I hope I said that right, said the editor recommended that if he should have higher stakes, so he suggests Shanks lose an arm. So Osman is basically saying that he recommended the like actual concept itself, not just the shark or the Fishman thing, but the actual like overall concept.
Yeah, that would make some sense. Yeah.
Okay. So the next one is Orangetown. Basically, obviously, like Romance Dawn goes up to basically, I think I'm meeting like, is it Nami? No, the Nami is Orangetown, but he meets Nami. Luffy meets Nami in Romance Dawn, and then a bunch, right? And then it goes into Orangetown.
Yeah. Oh, I try to remember. It's because the anime is different to the manga. I'm trying to remember which is, because they obviously adapt Romance Dawn very differently.
Yes. So right now I'm in chapter 25 in my reread, and that's like right after Buggy just got defeated, and Nami's already there.
Nami doesn't show up during the Buggy stuff in the manga. Not the Buggy stuff, the Arvida stuff in the manga, right? Because in the anime she first shows up with the Arvida stuff.
No, you get it backwards. You get it backwards. The manga. Because in the manga, when I was reading it, he meets Koby, and then there's no Nami when he first meets Koby.
Yeah. In the anime, Nami's there. Yeah, they don't interact with Luffy, but yeah, she's just inserted earlier in the anime.
I kind of get that though, because for the anime, they wanted to be like, "Yo, we got this, like this little character you need to see, so you stick around,"
I guess the live action did it too. So.
So I'm gonna be honest. I kind of agree with who was it? Somebody said B. Fazy said hello. The smallest PokeTuber said Romance Dawn for me. It's Goda because no, sorry, wrong one. He said Orangetown is B for me. The smallest PokeTuber. I would go with B too. Oh, Fazy said B for me too. So I agree with both of them because the first one is super solid because obviously it's so different. When you get into Orangetown, it's also solid because it expands the lore. Like I said, I just reread it, and Buggy like talks about Shanks, how they grew up together very early on. That shocked me. I was like, man, we're getting Shanks like lore that we don't get answers to for 500 chapters, 600 chapters. The only other thing that really happened was the Choo Choo dog stuff. So that was kind of sad. I do give Oda credit for that because it taught me very early on that Oda has the capacity to make me like want to cry over the most random stuff. Like the dog got a backstory. Like in the future, we know all the Straw Hats get really cool backstories, but early on, he was giving the dog the sad backstories. Let's see. So do you agree with B?
Yeah, B's fine for me. Yeah, I don't have too much of an opinion of Orangetown. It's solid enough arc. It's the start of the Buggy supremacy.
Oh, you're very
I do
true.
find it funny that Luffy gets stuck in a cage and he's not strong enough to get out of the cage, and Zoro's not strong enough to cut through the bars of the cage. I find that quite funny.
That was really funny. It also is the first time that like Nami started calling them monsters because Zoro's
Yeah.
like leaking, and then Luffy's trying to carry that thing, and she's like, "Man, y'all are like basically monsters." Okay, so next we got, this is what I'm curious to hear your thoughts first on. Zoro, and everybody in the chat, let us know where you would rank it to. That actually helps and give us the reason why. So we got Syrup Village, obviously, infamously and famously, Usopp's arc. Introduction. Let's see.
Syrup Arc, Syrup Village is a difficult arc because I definitely think, I don't know. I'm trying to think of anything to say about it beyond just the obvious. Kuro's a pretty good antagonist, I'd say.
Yeah, so for those who maybe, obviously haven't read it in a long time, basically, they wash up on the island. One of the things I did like about it, and this is something that I think is underrated, that Oda does, is his introductions are always really cool. He's really good at introducing a character, and then that character, like, you can kind of get who they are as a character, their chemistry potentially with the crew if they join or whatever, and all that kind of stuff. For Usopp, remember, I'm pretty sure like they come up on the shore, and then Usopp does that thing where he's like, "No, pirates are coming," but nobody believes him. Obviously, he comes and sets up all the like faux 5,000 because it keeps getting bigger out in the future. But at first, he's like, "I got a 5,000 man army," and then Luffy's like, "Oh my god, that's so cool!" And Nami's like, "Bro, like, he's obviously lying." You know what I mean? So that was really cool.
Yeah, it's a really good introduction to Usopp. I guess the only issue is it has one of the weaker flashbacks of the Straw Hats.
You're talking
I'd say Usopp's backstory, yeah, because obviously when we get into these arcs, the backstories, the flashback arcs become so memorable for a lot of these arcs. I don't think Syrup Village's flashback arc is particularly memorable in the grand, especially compared to the other Straw Hat backstories.
Yeah, no, I get that. Let's see what they said. FaZe said B for me, and then he said, "Anime Monarch, you were who's that? Do you know who Anime Monarch is?" It said you was in Sexton, right?
Yeah, I when I was streaming earlier, I said if you want to see more of my beautiful face later, it seems some of them have come over.
Oh, nice. What's up?
Well, be civil, guys. Be civil.
I got a hilarious talking about like be civil. I went to a wedding yesterday. We was talking about it, and of course, anime came up. So I'm like, but people don't really know like everything that I do and stuff because I didn't really know everybody there. Most people, and they was talking about My Hero Academia, and can you say the Japanese name? It's like
Boku no Hero Academia.
Yes, but I said, "What series do you like?" And they said Boku no, and for some reason I swapped the name out, so I said Boku no.
Yeah.
Bro, 3 people looked at me and said, "What you know about that?" And I was like, "It was crazy. It was very." And then my YouTuber brain kicked off, and then again they don't know I do YouTube, so I go, "Man, I wish I was recording that because that was so natural. It was so funny because the people that knew, and the people that didn't was asking about it, and everybody was like, nah. All right, so the smallest PokeTuber said, "I think low B or C." I'm gonna be honest. I try to be fair to the early arcs because Oda, one of the reasons I love him is he does slow world building, and I appreciate it in retrospect, like why he did what he did. We needed to learn that Usopp was the boy who cried a wolf. I do still think it's probably a C though. I see some people put it in like D or L. It was not bad. It was just really slow. And then the villain was only there to give Usopp character development. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't one of the villains Oda had big plans for. I think that's usually his strong suit is like creating characters that even if they're not important now, they have some role in the other parts of the world. This was like hey, here's this guy, he sucks. They beat him. I did like when Usopp punched him, but I'm gonna put this C.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment.
All right, cool. And you guys always help me the most, making sure the stream you can hear me. Sometimes I accidentally unplug stuff or whatever. So definitely do that because I want to get better at this like hosting thing. So y'all gotta help me out for sure in the comments. Literally like the night before last I was recording and bro was like, "Dude, we cannot hear anything you're saying." Okay, let's see. So next we have. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up and see which one it is. There's like so many of these. All right, the Baratie Arc, or Baratie, however you pronounce it. Let's see. I always say Baratie, but I feel like in the dubbed or subbed one of them, it sounds way different. But obviously, this is infamously like the introduction to Sanji. One of the cool things about the Sanji introduction is like, we got introduced in his world. He wasn't like, Usopp living in some strange village. Like, he kind of was actively already in a career and like living his life. His stuff's already started. He grew up a lot faster than a lot of these other people. Luffy grew up fast because he had a rough backstory, but he had his own thing going on. Sanji was actively like in the world. Like, if he didn't meet Luffy, he probably would have stayed on that ship forever, on the floating restaurant. So I would say I think you did the last one. So I'm gonna say my initial thoughts about the Baratie arc is it's pretty great. It's one of the ones when I did my Sanji victim video, it was one of the ones I had the most fun rereading because so much happened. Okay, like so much stuff. Obviously, we meet Sanji. He was cool because he was like the Romeo character. Then obviously we meet Mihawk there, the god tier part, right? Zoro has one of his best moments there with the whole, hold the sword up and said the whatever. We also, it was the first time we realized how terrifying the Grand Line can be. So, because I think that's what, who was it? One of the people there was just like, dude, we went to the Grand Line for like 10 seconds and we got wrecked by one dude. So what do you think about it?
This might be a controversial opinion, but Baratie is my favorite East Blue arc. I do have it above Arlong Arc. I love this arc.
Okay.
I love this arc so much. I think Don Krieg is one of the most underrated villains in all of One Piece. I think he serves his role excellently. I do think cutting him from the live action was the biggest mistake that show ever made, but I also think, it's so important for introducing us to, because up until this point, we've not really understood the Grand Line and what it really entails.
Yeah.
But to have Mihawk show up, having just destroyed an entire armada, just because they woke him from a nap, and just going through the Calm Belt and just wrecking them some more, just for that sake. And just showing that, Zoro up until this point has been a monster. Zoro thought he was close to become the world's strongest. And then he gets humbled so bad.
That's a really good point because during my reread on stream that I've been doing, that's one thing that I noticed was at the very beginning, Zoro was the first person. He was so strong. He was the first person to beat the first bad guy, right? I mean, technically Luffy freed him and Luffy helped, but Zoro was the one that took out Axe and Morgan.
They really built up like how confident Zoro is in his strength up until the duel, and then he gets absolutely wrecked. And then it's obviously his speech of never wanting to lose again. It is a classic example of pre-time skip Zoro writing being incredible. But yeah, I love this arc so much. And Jin, however you want to pronounce it.
Okay, yeah.
That's a great character.
I'm gonna say that too. You're totally right. It's so funny you said Jin or Jin because I can't remember which one it was, but you're totally right. He was one of the best characters in One Piece as far as like how little we got to see him, and then how much he showed up. I think he made that arc go up a whole tier by itself. Like I might say B for me personally, but he puts it up to an A just because of Gene. He made me so sad. He had so much character development and changes, like where he wanted to ride for Don Krieg, and then he really got attached to Sanji's moral character, but he also understood he's a pirate and they're cutthroat. They gotta be savage. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was really cool because, I mean, if you rewatch that fight, he was rocking Sanji up where it was like aiming to kill, but then he couldn't do it. And I don't know, I just really liked it. So W for all the Gene fans out there, super underrated character. Where did you say you would rank it?
I personally would put this S tier easily for me.
S tier?
I love it. I do think retroactively this arc is worse because of the recent chapter where they revealed Don Krieg somehow made it to Blackbeard's Island, which I think really undermines like the whole point of this arc. That Don Krieg shouldn't succeed, but he does. He's with Blackbeard now for some reason. So I think that in hindsight annoys me a bit because it kind of like ruins a big part of this arc. But it's still one of my favorite arcs.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
But I don't think most people rate it as highly as I do.
Should I add like an A plus or something? Because I don't want to. Okay, because
It's fine. A's fine. I will accept A. That's fine. If you're going B, I'm going to guess A's nice in the middle.
No, because my problem is that I think it's better than Romance Dying, but I don't think it's better than. Actually, I'll put it S tier. I think that's it because that'll mix this tier list up a little bit. I think I went with my choice for Orangetown, so we'll go with yours for this one. I think Baratie's S, and I think some people in the chat said A. I totally see why it's A, but you have to understand how much better the writing got compared to like Syrup Village and Orangetown. You know what I'm saying?
It's a big step. I think it's I always say if people get to episode 24 and they don't like One Piece still, you're fine to drop it. Because episode 24 is when the Mihawk stuff happens. And I think if that doesn't drag you in, then I don't think you like One Piece.
Okay.
So that's why I like Baratie, because I use it as my tester arc to see if people actually like One Piece or not.
Okay, so I honestly think you're right. A lot of people always say, you got to make it to Arlong. And I don't believe that either.
Yeah.
Because you pretty much know what you're getting into One Piece by Baratie. You know what I mean? The stakes are pretty freaking high. I mean, bro was using like poison gas and stuff.
Yeah. All I'm saying, Zoro would have lost to Don Creek because he cannot cut steel at that point. So Don Creek would have wrecked the whole crew if it wasn't for Luffy.
Okay, I'm trying to. We actually got a few chats. So I'm trying to. Fazy said the guy with glasses. If you're talking about Gene, no. He didn't have glasses, did he? Gene was that guy who he was like Chinese design for his clothes, and he carried that metal ball thing.
Yeah, he's got like a stripy outfit. Like green and white stripes.
And then we got the smallest PokeTuber said, yep. He said A. He would go with A. Anime Monarch said, and Sanji giving that pirate food was a good moment. Very good. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Like I said, you got who Sanji was entirety in that arc. Basically, he's over here flirting with women. He's serving food. He's standing up to his own boss because he's just like, he's strong-willed. You learned about the all blue, so it expanded the One Piece world. S tier all the way. I totally agree with you. I'm glad you said that because it made me respect Baratie Arc. I haven't got there in the reread yet, so you're totally right. That is a good arc. Okay, and then we got smallest PokeTuber says it just feels right, and then Osmond said Zeph not eating his leg in the anime was a huge disservice to his backstory. Really downplayed his strong connection to Sanji. Well, yeah. Well, it changed how dark One Piece could be too, right? I mean, not eating is one thing. Eating your leg is a whole nother level of darkness. And you're totally right. There's a lot of examples. We'll get to it in the Wano arc too. I know something that got changed. But there's a lot of times when they changed it and it just kind of made it more like toned down. It toned down the severity and the One Piece world really is a harsh place to live. And I think we get caught up in the adventure. You forget that.
Yeah.
Those kind of things are important.
Yeah, like I say, the other big issue with the leg, like the whole symbolism of him losing the leg is he was Red Leg Zeph. Legs were his weapon. Legs were what made him a strong pirate.
Mm.
He sacrificed his life as a pirate, basically. He basically took away his greatest strength, his kicking, because like Sanji, he only fought with his kicks.
See,
so, yeah.
Now, that's some great analysis. That's some...
and it's almost like he passed the torch over to Sanji, because then Sanji, by surviving, took on his style and became Blackleg Sanji and became a kicking pirate in his place.
No, definitely. That it definitely makes it more poetic. A poetic tragedy, I should say. All right, so what do we next we have the Arlong Park arc, infamous for being I see this happen all the time. Somebody recommends One Piece, they're like, it's not really for me yet. And so another fan will say, at least make it to Arlong Park. So Arlong Park, first thoughts. Is there any highlights that you remember off the top of your head to Arlong Park?
I mean, Arlong has like one of the best backstories in the story. Nami's backstory is impeccable. It's got one of the most badass early Zoro moments when Arlong picks him up and is just shook by the scar he sees.
Yeah.
I think the Usopp's fight is.
Are you talking about because he got wounded from Mihawk and then Arlong?
Arlong's like picking him up and sees the scar and he's like, "What the hell? You've come in here like this?"
Yeah.
The whole fact that Zoro got there because he got lost and Hachi thought he was a guest to Arlong and he just takes him in. They just kills all the fishermen. It's just hilarious.
No,
it's just a great comedy in that arc as well as really great stakes. And the Arlong versus Luffy is like the first time you see Luffy actually like get properly angry and go full on a villain, and it's just a very satisfying Luffy beatdown. Probably the first of these big satisfying Luffy just crushing a real piece of shit.
No, that's the first man. I called it in my video, one of my videos. I can't remember. I guess it was a Zoro video. I called that moment it was basically Mihawk's signature. Only one person commented that was funny, but I still glad because in my head I'm like, I just see everybody who like survived a Mihawk encounter is just severely like gashed up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even if he blesses you with life, Mihawk is just like, yeah, but I'm gonna leave my signature on you on some like berserk shit where people know like you tangled with some darkness, you know? Okay, let's see. So that is Arlong. One of the reasons I'm gonna go ahead and say it this time. I see we can't do it. I don't want to put everything S, but Arlong, that should be an S tier arc. I mean, what do y'all say? Because I think the thing that you mentioned that changed it for me was it was the first time you meet somebody where you go because okay, Arlong part gets better retroactively when you hit the backstory of Fisher Tiger, right?
Yeah,
but reading it like A to Z, we didn't know all that, and I still think it's S tier without all that added stuff because it let me know, like, because you hear all that stuff. Fishmen are 10 times stronger than a normal human. Arlong's not trying to fight people; he's trying to kill people. He enslaved Nami. He murdered her like caretakers, and like it was one of those things again. And that's something the anime left in, where it was like, this guy is a threat. We're still in the East Blue, and we just heard the Grand Line is the pirate graveyard. You know what I mean? And we're already running into this dude in the, because I think he had the highest bounty, right? So,
yeah, I think so. Don Krieg might have been a bit higher, but he wasn't in East. No, I don't think he was. They're around the same ballpark at least.
Oh, and the smallest Poketuber made a very good point. He said Zoro killing all the fishmen, which I definitely believe he slaughtered them all. When you read the official translation and all that kind of stuff, Hachi, because some people in my video tried to say that Zoro didn't kill him. In my Zoro victim video, I think he did, because if you read, Hachi says, if I was here, then all these people wouldn't have died. I'm sorry, basically. They tried to call him out on it. So I thought that was cool because it separated Zoro from Luffy. Where Luffy, I think even Luffy's killed people. I mean,
Luffy's definitely killed people.
Yeah,
definitely. There's no way some of those Marines survive what he puts them through.
There's one moment where you're watching Wano and this dude spills the beans, and if you remember what I'm talking about, and then Luffy elephant guns this like fodder. This is fodder, and he hits him with like a Kaido level attack, and there's just no way the dude survived. I'm like. Or even in Arlong Park, when he brung down that like tower, there's nobody in there, nobody around. He crushed an entire like freaking skyscraper. Okay, let's see. Fazy said, "My brother still talks about Arlong picking up Zoro and seeing the Scar moment to this day." So yeah, so that moment you mentioned was like it stayed with a lot of people. Anime Monarch said, "My favorite moment in Arlong Park is when the Straw Hats barged through Arlong's front door. Definitely an S tier." Okay, so he blessed us with being able to put an S tier. If you're down with it, I am. But
I'm easily down with S tier for Arlong.
Okay. Fazy said easy. So this is the chat. I had a hard time putting the chat on stream, so I used the pop-up feature. It still works really good, but that's why I keep looking over here. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. And then we got Osmond said Arlong also Arlong Part was the first time we got a good look at Luffy's emotional intelligence. He took one look at the room Nami was locked in and decided to knock him down. Very true. That's something I kind of talked about on stream, where people always say Luffy's dumb, right? But he's not the dumb like Goku dumb. He's like, now I don't mean to diss any like Dragon Ball fans. I'm just saying like Goku's one track minded, right? Like he likes to fight and he will save his friends, but he's more like he likes what he likes. Luffy honestly does show a lot of emotional intelligence. It's just not written out for us, which I appreciate. So for example, like when he sees Nami's room, or in the first arc, he was fighting for a dog, more or less because he was like, it's not even that I do want to protect the dog, but the person who would do this to the dog is such a piece of shit that I want to take him out. He sees what happens with Nami. He's like, oh yeah, Nami is like chill enough for anybody that can do that to her. I don't care about the danger. Like that guy, I don't want him in the world I envision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to put this, let's see. There it goes. Okay. Arlong Park, S tier. So a lot going on. Let's see. We got Syrup Village. How do y'all think it's going so far? We got Syrup Village C list, Orangetown B, Romance Dawn A, Baratie S, Arlong Park S. Do you disagree with any of them? Okay. The next one is, it says Roguetown, but isn't it Loguetown?
Yeah, Loguetown.
I know that's complicated in Japanese and stuff because, the R's and L's are always mixed up.
Yeah, it's until we get like proper, like we know this is Loguetown. It's been confirmed since. It's like it took a while for Raftel to be confirmed to actually be Laftel. But yeah, because it's obviously prologue, epilogue, because it's the start of their journey to the Grand Line. It was the end of Roger's thing.
So okay, because I know later on I did put the Reverie in here because there kind of is like a Reverie arc, and I know that it's spelled out Leverie, but it's pronounced Reverie.
Yeah, it's basically until the anime says it, and then if the anime gets corrected afterwards by Oda, because obviously Laftel was corrected from the anime.
Yeah. So real quick, this is my summary. I'm gonna try to do like a summary of like all the arcs every time I get to them, just so everybody knows. I'm pretty sure as far as Loguetown goes, that's basically where it's the first like city we get to, right? Like actual city, because like all these other places like all these other ones are, like villages. This would be kind of like if you grew up in the country or the South or whatever, and then or South United States. I'm not sure how it is where you're at, but like there's a lot more rural areas in the South, and then all of a sudden you go to like New York. That's kind of that's what happened to the Straw Hats, right? Nami grew up in like you know where she grew up. I thought it was dope because in my head I was just all like, oh, I would love to visit Loguetown, go to a coffee shop. Oh, actually, I wrote notes for some of the ones that I didn't remember as much. Isn't Loguetown where Zoro does that thing where he goes into that shop and he throws up that sword?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he throws Katetsu up into the air.
And I will do it with a real sword here today. No, I'm just joking.
Wait a minute.
Hey, let's go. That's crazy. That's what I'm talking about. See, now what y'all don't know is what he's really doing is challenging me for to a duel. I was on a stream the other night. That was cool. I was on stream the other night. Somebody asked me to put it in my mouth like Zoro does. That's my only one. Like the other ones, I have a couple in the back. I don't know if you can see them. But I don't have the holder thing. But those are metal, and so they're they hurt my teeth. Like I
was gonna say there'd be some weight to them.
Yeah, so this one's my the all plastic one I got, and it's the one that I pretend to be Zoro on. Okay, so which one are we on now? Oh, Loguetown. What else happened in Loguetown? Oh, we got Dragon. I mean that puts it up there, even though it like introduced somebody that we just never see. It was
you got trust in him. You got trust when he shows up. He's going to be a monster. Loguetown. Nothing really happens in Loguetown. Like a lot of stuff happens, but it's a really, really short arc. Like I don't think people realize how damn short it is when you read it.
It feels long because so much happens.
Yeah, the anime is a lot longer in the anime because there's so much filler in it. But in the manga, like they rock up, they do some shopping. Buggy and Alvida do stuff. Smoker shows up. Dragon shows up. Next chapter, they're off to the Grand Line. It's a very quick arc in the manga. But we also have Luffy almost getting executed.
Oh yeah. Oh, with the Buggy. Well, Buggy comes back. What do y'all think
Buggy
about?
And Alvida come back. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm trying to think if anything happened that made me feel like it should be above B.
There's
Tashigi.
There's really not too much.
We get a little more lore about Zoro, right?
Tashigi and her very possible dream.
Oh yeah, I know. Let's see.
Yeah. I don't think she's got much chance of getting getting all those supreme blades out of the hands of evil pirates. But we'll see.
Yeah, that's not happening. I mean, she couldn't even get one.
Imagine her trying to fight the Gorosei to try and get Kotetsu
that-
off of that.
Yo, that too. That's hilarious.
Churro.
I'm gonna put it, unless y'all have a better idea, I'm gonna put it in B.
I don't think there's anything particularly bad about it, but there's not really that much to it. So I don't think it warrants being any higher than that.
I'm gonna be honest. One thing I will give it credit for is I think that was one of the first arcs that started One Piece theories. Because I remember Dragon, obviously so mysterious.
Yeah.
I remember hearing like, "What's his devil fruit? Is it the Native American like bird fruit or something?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we still don't. Well, we don't know, but it's we know it. We basically know what it does by this point, but we just don't know what it is. Like
It's a weather fruit, basically, right?
Yeah, there's a panel in the manga they didn't adapt in the anime where it almost, it's hard to say, but it basically just shows him turning from wind back into human. Like there's like a wind gust coming off him the same way Logias are drawn.
Yeah.
So it does seem awfully likely it's the wind Logia, but obviously until it's confirmed, we'll never know. But
yeah, so I'll give it that. That's the only reason I'm not gonna put it C. Is it was another one of those world building arcs, which Oda does a lot of. All right,
and it introduced us to Smoker, so that was Logias for the first time in general, which was pretty cool.
Now you're making me want to do B. No, I mean A. No, I'm just joking. It's not as good as.
It's I always say Smoker's such a great Logia to start with because as Smoke, literally all it can do is go intangible. So it's like the best way to explain that they're intangible without having to add extra abilities on. So I just think Smoker's such a cool introduction to Logias.
All right, so sorry, go ahead. I think you're right. I was listening to you, but I was also reading chat. One of your people, I think that's one of your people. So I'm gonna read two of his because he said actually said three things. Basically said FaZe reminds Seth about his Discord server.
Oh,
and then
fucking me out this goddamn Discord server. I will do it. All right. I haven't got around to it yet.
He's trying to tell you to remind you to make it.
Yeah, I've been saying it for like the last 3 streams, but
I got you. See, I pressured him, so I'll try to remind him. It's a lot. There's a lot of stuff that comes with building a community, so give him a little bit of a break. I've myself had people like I've made my Discord server private and then public like 10 times because sometimes people join and they're like, "Dude, like." Do stuff all the time, and which is I want to, but it's so hard to make a Discord server fun and then also be able to make YouTube videos steady as you're coming up. You know, I don't even have any mods or anything like that, so it's like, you know, sometimes it's smart to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, and 1 second. He also said, don't forget about Roger. Yeah, Enies Lobby. I mean, sorry, Loguetown was another one of those arcs that got better over time because we keep seeing more people was there during the execution.
Yeah.
Smallest.
Yeah, we might have...
Oh, Joel said, hey Seth, sorry I'm late.
Okay. I'm good, so I'm getting your numbers up by dragging my viewers over.
Yeah, and Joel also said, make a Discord server or draw 25.
God's sake.
That's funny.
They're ravenous, these guys.
Yeah, no. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna do Reverse Mountain. Do you remember what happens in Reverse Mountain? You want to give us a summary, kind of?
Yeah. Reverse Mountain. They go up Reverse Mountain. They come down Reverse Mountain, and they almost hit a whale. Then we obviously get the Laboon stuff, and we meet Crocus, which is probably I still think is the funniest scene in all of One Piece. Is the Strats meeting Crocus, where they're just like, someone's gonna die in a minute. It's me. Although in the anime, Nami brutally murders someone on the way up Reverse Mountain, which is quite funny. Because it comes straight off of what's the filler arc? It comes straight off after the one with the dragons.
I think it's called like Post-Loguetown or something like that.
It's the one where they meet the little girl and the dragons and shit. And when they're going up, the villain gets on their ship as they're going up Reverse Mountain, and Nami just like brutally like stabs him in the throat with her pole, and just they fall and drown in Reverse Mountain. Oh,
you're talking about sorry, I remember now. You're talking about where Nami basically she literally goes she literally goes he's a devil fruit user and then knocks him in the water.
Yeah, it's so brutal.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's back when it's like the one filler arc that's like intertwined with canon events, which I was quite funny because when they first go to the Calm Belt right at the beginning of Reverse Mountain, There's just a filler character just with them for the whole scene, which I always find quite funny. But yeah, Reverse Mountain, the highlight is obviously Laboon, which obviously we don't know the bigger relevance of Laboon as a character until Thriller Bark, but even just the backstory you got without knowing about the Rumbar Pirates and all that, it still hits really hard.
So I gotta show this because I'm gonna be honest, and obviously the Brit video just came out or whatever. But 1 second. Ooh. Super Laboon Simp. Okay. I like Laboon, and I'm gonna tell you why. I love how even in One Piece, even the animals, okay, have like wheels. Like Laboon has a wheel, and I feel like even Fate has something planned for him because all the stuff he's been through, he's like tied to so many lore field events with like obviously Brook, and they're waiting on him. And one of the things I thought made Thriller Bark so cool is again talking about One Piece getting dark. Brook basically said he would have unalived himself if it wasn't for Laboon. Like, Laboon was his anchor to life. You know what I'm saying? So, Laboon's a good boy. I call him Booney Boy. So, I'm going to make, just because I got I have an emotional attachment to it, I want you to be honest about Reverse Mountain. Cutthroat.
Reverse Mountain, it's just, because it's hard, because it's hard to look at it in isolation without the Brook context. The Brook context makes it hit so much harder.
Yeah, it does make it.
I'd probably go B just for Laboon. I don't think nothing really happens. I cannot justify putting it any higher than B. But Laboon is great.
Oh, I know. I could think of something.
Yeah, anything to convince me to get it up a bit.
We met Baroque Works, and then
Vivi.
that's
when Vivi first shows up. Yeah, I always forget about that.
Really, that's when we meet one of the Straw Hats. I think I read recently like Oda does consider her one of the Straw Hats.
Yeah, in the Viva cards, at least she is one of the Straw Hats. So I consider her a Straw Hat. I'm pretty sure she'll rejoin the crew eventually.
Okay, so think about where you would put it with all that. I'm gonna read a couple more chats. Joel said, "Yep, I was." Oh, so they're talking about they was in other streams together. Ozman said, "Laboon gang all the way. I need y'all to defend Laboon with your life anytime he comes up, because he was out there fighting, bro. He was out there saving lives." And the smallest PokeTuber said, "We need a sword fighting stream full Diddy." Oh, yo, you going crazy? Smallest PokeTuber is going crazy. That's funny. There's somebody else. Yeah, there's somebody else that's usually be active with you. I bet he thinks we're gonna be on like at 8:00, because that's something that he would have thought was funny too. That's hilarious. He said Samurai Champloo jump scare. I love Samurai Champloo. Is there something in my room that Samurai Champloo?
It's every time you switch over to the tier list, it shows your back your wallpaper quickly.
Oh yeah. I deleted a few just in case that happened. I deleted a few things off my my main screen.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay.
Yeah, I always have my screen zoomed in slightly so you can't see the taskbar and stuff.
Yeah,
Not there's anything there, but yeah, just in case.
No, you have no idea. I always think like big YouTubers and big streamers and stuff. I'm almost positive that they have like multiple PCs. So
yeah, they probably have just a streaming one.
I mean,
yeah, because you don't want it cluttered with stuff. Like as a videoist, I can tell you, my drive is cluttered with so much stuff. So I've just got so many just random panels and anime episodes and people's videos and all sorts.
I legitimately have to like delete stuff religiously. I'm trying to get me like an external hard drive or something, because I don't want to delete any of my old videos. Back in the day when I did like One Piece, Chainsaw Man like videos before I like they was always really long, but they wasn't great, and I privated them and stuff. But some of them I didn't even make. I don't know. They're just memories of coming up, and in my past, and they take up so much memory. But I don't know what to do. I don't want to delete them.
Yeah, I just get a hard drive or something, or cloud, or like you can get like loads of space on Google Drive for like a tiny bit of money extra, and shove them all in there.
No, that's actually smarter.
Yeah, I've had to do that for someone because I was editing a video for them. It was a compilation video, but it was like 12 hours long. So the only way I could get it to him was upload to Drive, but I had to like pay like extra to get a massive extension in my storage just to send it to the guy.
No, bro, it's honestly insane. That's why a lot of people there was like a war. Like, remember the IP wars from a long time ago when internet popped out?
Yeah.
Well, there was like a cloud service war, too, because they knew people would need that these days. Reverse Mountain, I'll be honest. You said C, right?
C or B.
You think it was better or worse than Syrup Village?
I think it's better than Syrup Village. Personally,
I'm gonna be a little more savage. I'm gonna put B because of Laboon. Never mind. I was gonna put it C, but you're right.
Yeah, Laboon really carries it.
Laboon carries, and also meeting Baratie Arc was dope because that was really the start of the first Super Saga.
Yeah.
All right. So next we have. Okay, here we go. Whiskey Peak. You want me to go first this time?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so I like Whiskey Peak a lot because it was one of the only times where it felt super realistic. Like, I'll explain what I mean. There's times where like Luffy be doing too much, and if I was Zoro and them, I would not put up with it. And there's times Zoro and Sanji be doing a lot, and people, they check each other, but there's not like a lot of cohesiveness. Like, the whole crew doesn't react. It's only the character that they're kind of messing with. Whiskey Peak was cool because it was like Nami's doing her thing, just trying to finesse people. There's this whole town. It was like, remember, because like Oda gets so good at tricking you, and it was the first time where like I think I watched that first before I read it, and I'm watching it and I go, man, this town is awesome. It's perfect for people like the Straw Hats. They love to party. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, by the way, this whole entire town is assassins, and we're literally targeting people coming off Reverse Mountain. So it's like it's like, and we already knew the Mihawk thing, how that was a danger. So it was like, oh, the Grand Line is just literally insane. You could die within the first day in like 50 different ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like Whiskey Peak. I also obviously really love Zoro's moment because I have this theory. It's not enough to make it like I talked about it in my "Is Zoro a Serial Killer" video. The whatever, because this was the time where it was like, this was a kind of unnecessary slaughter. They was bad people and they planned on killing the Straw Hats, and I'm thinking he should kill them. I mean, there are assassins, but he didn't go wake Luffy up. He didn't do nothing. He was like, okay, the good boy's asleep. It's time to get violent. Let's see. Anime Monarch, sorry, B because of the 4Kids version. I'm not letting 4Kids bring it down.
Now, that's probably the best voice acting in the entire 4Kids is just Zoro screaming Luffy's name as Luffy attacks him. It's hilarious in the 4Kids.
But the thing I liked about the 4Kids is I liked how they tried to give people different accents. I guess because it's pirates, so they're around the world. So some people was like real country, and then other people was just like British, or some people would be like, just random accents of French.
That's 4Kids through and through. If you ever watch their Yu-Gi-Oh dubs, the accents in that is insanely all over the place.
I didn't know that I watched the 4Kids Yu-Gi-Oh until later on in life, because it's all that I had watched. And then later on, I figured out they did tone down a lot of stuff in Yu-Gi-Oh too, with like I think the Shadow Realm and like
the Shadow Realm's just a pure invention of the lore of the 4Kids is so different from the actual show because they just make stuff up the Shadow Realm.
But it was so nostalgic. It basically shaped the One Piece lore. I mean, lore of Yu-Gi-Oh. R.I.P. to
I will defend though. I think the Yu-Gi-Oh 4Kids dub is great. It's great fun. I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as the One Piece one for how it's. Oh no, I think it taints. It corrupts the story just as much as 4Kids does for One Piece, I guess.
I can't remember.
But I'm more forgiving for Yu-Gi-Oh for some reason.
Well, it's because they didn't change the initial, like the 4Kids one for One Piece. It like was changing the actual like structure of the story, and One Piece is about reveals and shit, and they kept taking out all the violent stuff, so it just didn't even make sense. There was other stuff I can't remember. I think they cut out the entire Reverse Mountain arc. They didn't even fork.
Laboon becomes an iceberg instead.
It's just crazy.
Laboon gets switched with the iceberg that happens after Alabasta.
Mm-hmm. What the heck?
That's the scene.
I don't remember that part into it.
But they after Alabasta there's a bit of an iceberg, and they take that scene and put it after Reverse Mountain.
That's dumb. Victoria Roxanne said hi. Hello. Seth says hi too. Let's see. Somebody else said I like Deadass That was Joel said. Like he dead ass sounds like he saw Luffy get shot in the head or something. Like damn. Yeah, he's referring. Yeah. Yeah. I thought Whiskey Peak. I'm gonna put it back on the screen for you right quick. I thought Whiskey Peak was very important. I think an A, and because Whiskey Peak set the tone for the new world. It also really is it showed how complicated it was, because you start having the feeling that the Vivi isn't who she says she is, and then Zoro realizes that like, okay, Luffy could be a little more, you know, hard-headed than even I realized. So if he wants to fight me, then I'm gonna have to smoke him too, just to show him like what's up. Because you know later on Zoro says that a lot, like, you better keep being stronger than me, because if I ever feel like you ain't taking this pirate shit serious, or I think on Fishman Island, which I love, by the way, I'm gonna bring that up on Fishman Island. There's a part on Fishman Island where Luffy shows that he mastered his Conqueror's Haki, and Zoro's like, if he couldn't do that, then I wouldn't let him be my captain type shit. You know what I mean? And I think we got a taste of that in Whiskey Peak. So I think A. What do you think?
I like Whiskey Peak a lot, but then there's just Luffy versus Zoro. I just hate so much that it drags the whole lot down so much for me, because it's, for me, the most forced thing in the entire series, because it's so out of character for Luffy's the kind of guy where he gets told that Nami kills Usopp in Arlong, and he goes, no. He had full trust in Nami, who wasn't even part of his crew, who he didn't really know that well, that she wouldn't kill Usopp. Zoro, some random person tells him that Zoro's killed loads of civilians, and he immediately tries to fight and kill Zoro. I hate them. I hate that moment so much.
You're right.
Well, it really drags the arc down for me.
Let me defend it a little bit, okay? I think what it is when Luffy met Zoro, this is something that people don't remember as well. Not that you don't, but it's something that shocked me during the reread. The entire East Blue considered Zoro a demon, like a literal cutthroat anomaly. Like Koby doesn't even want to be near him when he says his name. The people in the town, when he says Zoro's name, they jump out of their chairs and run and hide, right? Because remember, they do it to Helmeppo too, but it made sense with Zoro. And then we have Zoro, when he's gonna free Zoro, he asks Zoro, he says, so the word on the street is you're basically like a terrible, terrible human being. So the only way I can rationalize it is, again, I think Luffy thinks more than he says. So I think the only thing I can think is Zoro has all these moments. He murks all the fishermen. So we didn't see it, but Luffy probably came down and was like, who made sushi out of all these fish people? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So he probably is seeing Zoro like be on this rampage after this. Remember, this is the second massacre Zoro's done. Okay, he doesn't know why yet. So in my head, Luffy's like, okay, I'm gonna keep an eye on this Zoro guy, because remember whenever he first told Koby he was gonna let him join, he goes, I'll keep an eye on him, basically. Like if he's not a good guy, then I won't let him join my crew. So he lets him join. They get to this town. They feed Luffy. Food's involved. That makes it complicated for Luffy. They feed him, and then all of a sudden he hears Zoro murked him. In the back of his head, it's a dumb thing to do, but in the back of his head, he might have thought, well, maybe everybody was right. And if they are right, I do like Zoro, but I got to put him in a coma to show him you can stay on the crew, but don't be with all that murder shit unless it's necessary. Is that am I headcanon pulling out of my ass, or is there a little something there? It's
not good. It ain't gonna convince me. Only because, like, back in Shelltown when they first meet, like, one of like Luffy just flat out says, Zoro, I know you're a good guy. I know you only kill bad guys. Like, he just full on says it. And for me, what makes Luffy so powerful as a leader is his complete and utter trust in his friends, no matter what. It's just, for me, it's a moment that just feels really, really forced by Oda just for a cool fight. But,
something. I see what you're saying.
That's the one thing that kind of drags the arc down for me.
It's not consistent with the character, you feel like.
I feel it undermines a lot of what makes Luffy.
Victoria, if you're still in here, you said, I watch you every day, bro. You're so cool. I like your videos. If you're talking about me, thank you. I appreciate it. You could be talking to Seth as well. So whoever you're talking to, you can let us know, or we can just both appreciate you said that and both feel good about ourselves. the smallest PokeTuber said, I clipped and put the full Diddy joke in Discord. I'm cooked. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I'll check that out. I'll check that out after the stream. That's hilarious. And then Joel said, I think people assuming Zoro to be a demon is a macro version of how characters like Robin and Chopper were assumed to be monsters based on the surface knowledge. Oda does this a lot. That is true, but there's a lot of nuance in Zoro we don't get to see on screen. Like how he murdered, was it Mr. 7 or Mr. 1? Who was it? Mr. 7?
7.
Yeah, like Zoro has taken a lot of lives. So you are right, though. He usually only captures pirates. But as we know, all pirates aren't bad. So what happens when, and this is something we don't know. So like, let's say Zoro is in a town. Remember, he said he went to that town because he needed money because he was hungry. Let's say he goes to a town. There's a pirate there worth 50 million berries. He's not a bad pirate, but he's a pirate. Is Zoro going to let him go? Well, the guy, if Zoro tries to capture him, he's not just going to let himself be captured. He's going to fight back. Zoro might murk him. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, it's yeah, as you say, there's just so little exploration of it, and it's hard to say. I definitely think Zoro is a bit more. You could argue Zoro's changed since meeting Luffy, I guess, but yeah, it's hard to say because there's just so little actual writing around it.
He's definitely changed. He's definitely changed. Trust me. Like I think about that all the time reading One Piece. He's changed so much that in the recent arc, Luffy gets sad. In case y'all aren't caught up, I'll try not to spoil anything. But somebody doesn't make it, and then Luffy gets sad about it, and Zoro is like, "Hey, big dog, it is what it is. Get over it." And everybody got pissed at Zoro, and they was all like, "Zoro's a piece of that we hate him. We're so mad at him." And I'm like, Zoro has always been the like person that keeps Luffy strong. That's who he is as a character.
Mm.
I'm gonna put it. Where do you rank it?
I'd go C, but like that's only because like that one moment really annoys me. But I'm happy for it to go to B. If I'm happy with B. But personally, I would put it C.
All right, let me take a look.
B is fine with me.
Let me see. We got an A. We have Romance Dawn and Whiskey Peak, Rocktown, Orangetown, Reverse Mountain. Again, I gotta make more tiers or something because it's better than Orangetown and Roguetown and Reverse Mountain. I don't think it's as good as you said B. I'm gonna put it A. I'm gonna be honest. I liked it a lot. That's just my feeling. I can't even justify it. It's just I liked it a lot reading it. All right, the next one is Little Garden. I did the last one. So, what is your initial thoughts on Little Garden?
Little Garden is. How do I want to say this? Little Garden is the first time that the Grand Line feels very fantastical, if that makes sense. Like Whiskey Peak, big mountains with little cactus, but like an island full of like dinosaurs is like the first time that it feels like we are going into a proper. Because you have to remember, like, even though there's fishmen and stuff like that, like the actual locations in East Blue are all pretty normal. There's nothing particularly that fantastical. But then we get to this island. There's dinosaurs. There's giants. It's obviously the start of Usopp's fascination with Elbaf. So it's got a lot of setup.
It's the very beginning of Usopp's overarching character development. Like it's new. We meet him obviously as a character. This is where everything starts change for him. Real quick. Victoria said you. Okay, so now that I know that you was saying me, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Definitely, every time I read something like that, it definitely makes me want to try harder because it is fun to make a video because I always try to make the video better than the last video. And if you notice, sometimes that could take me a while because I get like, I wouldn't consider myself a perfectionist, but I hate to put a video out and then I'm like, man, I should have put that in. Crap. Like I think of something later. So I'm glad you liked the videos. Thank you. I hope I can keep making good ones. Joel said, actually, there's a couple. I'm going to knock those out real quick for y'all. Osmond said, "You hurt people who give Luffy food. He will run the hands with you any day of the week." Yeah, no, for sure. Oh, I mean, Luffy has literally went to war over food. I mean, even in Wano, Luffy basically was like snatching lives just so because people was frivolous with the food, and Sanji too. Sanji will do that too. Oh yeah. I meant to say this back in the Baratie Arc. one of the things that I think was important for Sanji's character was that the Marine wasted food and Sanji dragged him, like dog walked him. And that was a Marine, and he was like, I think a Vice Admiral, I want to say, or something. So it was one of those things where it was like, okay, this Sanji guy, he really rides by his moral code. Like he has he anything that he deems as a part of his character and morals, he doesn't care if you're a good guy, bad guy, Marine, pirate, he'll do anything. So shout out to that. You reminded me of that. Appreciate that. And then what else I miss? Joel said, true, but I more meant in context of Zoro's introduction where he was clearly not as evil as people said he was. No, you're totally right. One Piece is very nuanced. Zoro is very nuanced. And I think his moral compass, though, has shifted closer to Luffy's. Because he's got to see the world, a lot of the bad stuff in it. But yeah, you're right. Zoro was never evil. He was just chaotic neutral. The smallest Poke Tour said, Seth salty as hell right now. Why are you salty?
Probably my whiskey peak hate. Hey, if you want to see me salty, we're still in pre-time skip. I love pre-time. Wait till we get post-time skip. I got a lot of stuff to say about the post-time skip.
Okay. Hey, if you want
I'll keep my salty thoughts.
Look, hey guys, I'm trying to learn to be a professional, and I want to get better at this and collabs and stuff. So I actually wrote down I got some notes. So I'm gonna take a look at that right quick, because you would just introduce me to a question. Don't give away any spoilers to your opinions, but just for the people watching who may not know, do you prefer a pre or post time skip in totality? Like, which one do you prefer? And is it like a really strong preference, or is it kind of even, but just tilts one way, just off a good?
It's very strong in favor of pre-time skip. Yeah, I do. I don't dislike post-time skip at all, but like I think there's a very clear difference in Oda's approach to the two, and post just lacks a lot of what made me love pre-time skip. So yeah, I'll talk more about the specifics when we get to the arcs, because when you get to those arcs, it's one of my main criticism of a lot of the post-time skip arcs. But yeah, generally I love pre-time skip a lot more. There's still post-time skip arcs I love. There is a few I'd give S tiers, but like in general, I'm a pre-time skip guy.
It's funny.
But Final Saga could change that for me. I have high hopes it will.
I'm making a poll about this. I was talking about this on stream the other night, because I think me and you had talked about it a little bit. So when I was reading the first arc, I was thinking like, man, this is really solid writing. And I basically decided to make a poll, because I knew you had that controversial take on that. Which is better, pre or post time skip? See, I'm trying to learn all the ins and outs of streaming, doing it. Pre or post time skip. Hope I did this right. Start poll. All right, let me know if y'all can see the poll. Okay, so right now, which is better, pre or post time skip? Like, which one do you enjoy more? Which one has better writing? All that good stuff. Characters and stuff. All right, here we go. So Little Garden. All right, now I'll give my take on Little Garden. So I think Little Garden is one of the most important arcs for one of the reasons you said. It was the first. This is why I like One Piece, and I call it a slow build. Okay, when you start Naruto, or you start like kind of Dragon Ball, I guess not really, but kind of. But you kind of get what you get. Like, you're in for what you're in for. And one thing I really enjoyed about One Piece is like, it's not just these other villages. Every single time those Straw Hats leave on their ship, your brain cannot comprehend what might happen. And I think the first time that really happened was Little Garden. Because it's like, oh, we meet a bunch of assassins. Well, that's crazy. An assassin town, a Western assassin town. Then you get to Little Garden, and it goes, oh yeah, there's places where freaking dinosaurs are still roaming the earth. There's giants. What? We met fishmen already. Now there's giants. Oh yeah, we live forever. We fought 100 years. So I know it might not seem important, but one reason why I like that is I was like, oh, so the giants have their own morals. Like, there's not many races out there that are about to fight for, was it 100 years or 50 years?
100, I think.
100 years, yeah. There's not many races that would do that. So when I got there, I was like, man, there's all these other like cultures in One Piece. I can't wait to see what happens next. You know what I'm saying? Then I love Usopp, okay? If you notice, I have 3 posters up there. I think those are the 3 best wanted posters. Oh no, there's other ones I like too, but I think Brooke has the best. Usopp's is the best too. I got Rogers because I just think it's iconic. You know, that basically started it all. But Little Garden also introduced what I think is going to be the best arc. I don't know if it introduced it, but it let us know that whenever we get to this whole like Elbaf stuff, it's going to be God tier. A bunch more theories came out after that. Also, again, with the cutthroat, a lot of more savage stuff happened. I mean, we had Zoro. Let us know your favorite Little Garden moment if you can think of any. But some of mine was like when Zoro was going to cut through his leg to free himself, and he looked at the giant and he was like, "Hey, big dog, out of everybody here, I know you get what I'm about to say. Are we about to die right here, or are we about to make something happen?" You know what I'm saying? Zoro could sense that guy was the only guy there that would do what he was about to do. Also, we have Usopp, more character development. Besides introducing Usopp's connection to the Giants and Elbaf, Usopp was the one, and this is something I forgot about, but when I reread it for the Usopp video, I remember like Usopp was the one coordinating all the like attacks with the rope and the melting the stuff. And so when Usopp's really intelligent, like Usopp and Nami are really smart, and eventually Robin, as far as the characters go. But Usopp's fight IQ, if he wasn't so like scary sometimes, is out of this world. Like if he ever has an awakening where he's like is as confident as Luffy, if Usopp ever has an awakening where he's as confident as Luffy, he would be a dastardly demon. I mean, he really is super smart. So I'm gonna go for Little Garden. I would put Little Garden A.
I think you could talk me into an A as well for that, I reckon.
What did
it also introduces Mr. Prince.
Oh, the first God tier foreshadowing. Yes.
Yeah, I think you can talk me into an A for this. It also starts Sanji and Zoro's rivalry. There's a lot of setup in this arc for a lot of long running.
Oh my god. Okay, now you're spitting. All right, yeah. So that was the first with the fish stuff. Oh, and it was cool. That's something Oda does a lot is draw parallels. You know what I mean? Like he draws parallels, and that was the time that he drew Sanji and Zoro's parallels to like Buggy and hey, I see your cat. That's funny. But yeah, so Victoria said I love your cat too. That's funny. We both seen them at the same time. Where would y'all put Little Garden? Let's see. I want to read real quick. The smallest PokeTuber agreed with you and said pre-time skip for sure. Right now, it's almost tied. Post time skip 56%, pre time skip 44%. So let's see. We'll leave that up for a while. Osman said Dory and Buggy's fight, starting exactly how Sanji and Zoro's one does, could be foreshadowing for the two fighting till their old age. There's a video I have private on my channel, but I actually did a video called Zoro versus Sanji, Evil Sanji Theory, and I think eventually they will fight because there's something that besides the fact they always bicker, there's a whole plot line of Zoro becoming like the most offensively powerful character in One Piece. I mean, he cut Kaido, we know all that kind of stuff, and he keeps learning all these attacks. His actual weapon, like maybe kind of has haki or something, is like, or it draws haki out of him, and it's just one of those things where like offensively, Zoro is becoming like on par with Luffy, and probably even more deadly when it comes to like if the attack lands, blunt, damage versus like a blade damage. Sanji, people know this, but they don't talk about it that much. But Sanji is becoming one of the most defensively capable fighters in the entirety of One Piece. He's more defensively strong than Frankie. I think he is. Already from the beginning, he was. With his endurance, he's the fastest, and he has the crazy endurance. But now with the whole Germa stuff, in my head, it's like, if you ever heard that saying, what happens when like a unstoppable object meets an unmovable object or whatever? If you have the strongest offensive fighter, Zoro, fight the strongest defensive fighter, Sanji, what happens? And I got one more reason why I think it might happen. What was even the point if it doesn't happen eventually? What was even the point in Wano of Zoro doing that whole thing where Sanji doing that whole thing where he calls Zoro on the snail and is like, hey, after I unlock my full power, if I become somebody that's not who you remember, you got to fight me or kill me or whatever. So I do think that was Oda setting up like a a future, like Sanji does something that pushes him where he can't come back, and Zoro has to be the one to fight him and bring him back. Let's see. Could you ever see that happening?
Hard. Maybe. I wouldn't bet money on it, but I wouldn't say it's impossible. I'm pretty sure I edited that video for you back in the day as well. It was just going my mind.
Yeah, that was because it was a chapter review. I stopped doing chapter reviews.
Yeah, it was a yeah. I'm pretty sure I was the one to edit that video as well.
I took it down because I get scared of using mangas these days. There's Victoria said a bunch of M's. That was my brother. PokeTuber said they put B, the smallest PokeTuber, and Osman said A. And Victoria said, I love your cat. Anime Monarch said, A, since Mr. 3 is a peak villain. I can see that. Mr. 3 comes back, too, so that was pretty cool. That's why I said...
Galdino is it. All I'm just saying is Galdino somehow was restraining a giant with his wax. Somehow. Don't sleep on him.
You don't... Do you think that was like... That didn't power scale very well?
It does not power scale very well at all, but, early One Piece has a lot of stuff like that.
Let's see. Right now, a lot of people... It's weird because more people are commenting that pre-time skip is better, but the post-time skip is winning the poll. So the pre-time skip people are passionate. That's what I'm learning. Yeah. Victoria said post because I like the high-quality battles. That's very true. It depends on what you like One Piece for. Has to do with a lot. All right, so real quick, I can get caught up and rant too long about each one of these arcs. So much happens. We're not even to the long arc yet. Little Garden, I think finished so strong. Where did you put it?
I could go A for it, I'd say.
Okay, good. I was gonna feel bad putting it A because we're trying to be cutthroat savages here.
I feel like there's going to be an extra tier or something added by the end of this stream. I just have a feeling we're going to be adding more tiers in here.
There's something that I never see tier list people do, which is correct shit towards the end. And that's something that I do want to do. Like if I remember something, I'm going to change it or add tiers or whatever. Okay, so we put, where's it at? Little Garden is at A. Do you agree? Or are we copium? Huffing that good. I think this is going to be controversial.
I think people agree with that.
Right here, ready? Drum Island. In my heart, I don't know why, I feel like you just have either a terrible or hot Drum Island take. People either going to agree with it or hate it.
I love Drum Island. Drum Island.
Hey!
Drum Island is just... Drum Island's another weird thing why I just love early One Piece so much, because I was rereading it the other day, and there's a scene where they almost get taken down by an avalanche, and I'm like, you just couldn't have that in modern day One Piece, like, because they're too strong, obviously.
Yeah.
But you just wouldn't get. It's why I loved last chapter so much, because we basically had a whole chapter of just one continuous scene going on, no cutaways, nothing like that.
It's not just that.
And back in Drum Island, we had a lot of stuff like that, where it's just fun adventures that don't really matter to the plot that much, but they're just fun adventure stuff, and Drum Island does quite a lot of that.
That's why I don't agree with people who say stuff like, I read this today somewhere where somebody was like, yeah, you can start One Piece at like this arc, like they skipped a lot of ugly One Piece, so they're like, oh yeah, if you can just start at the Baratie, or you can start at like or you can start post time skip, it still makes sense. And in my head, I'm like, what you just said, this is for me. What I love in video games and anime and manga or literature, movies, TV shows is the world building and the characters. That's the two things I love the most. And I think for me to give a crap about a character, I need that slice of life element. Well, I like Bleach, and my friend was like, he didn't like Bleach when I was younger, and he said it was too like, I don't think he knew the term slice of life back then, but basically he didn't like the slice of life elements. I'm like, I freaking love those because if it's always a war and I don't even know these characters, I'm like, I mean, their interactions and stuff, I don't care as much when they die. I don't care as much when they get separated. So whole cake doesn't mean shit to me between like Luffy and Sanji if we don't go through all the like chilling on the ship, all the little scenes of them feeding it around the dinner table, all that kind of stuff. It makes One Piece great. The slice of life elements are part of it, and that is one thing I wish we did have more in Post Time Skip.
There we go. Post Time Skip doesn't have that stuff.
The arcs are great though, but the stakes are too high. Like it's hard for them to be like, "Hey, we got Kato enslaving children and like stealing food. Let's go to the theme park, and like chill for a little bit." But I get it though. It's whatever. Oh, well, watch this. Ready? You ready? Oh yeah, I didn't bring the straw hat on stream ever until like yesterday. Somebody asked me to, and I actually think the thing looked pretty good. My head got too big for it to fit.
Oh, well, I'll go get mine then. Go for maybe 1 minute. I'll get mine.
Okay. So I guess Luffy could not be a YouTuber because you cannot wear this hat with. Hey, let's go. Let's go. That's what I was talking about. Oh,
I haven't worn this in years. It's very yellow, my one. Look how yellow it is.
Yeah, I know. Bro, I was just saying Luffy could not be a YouTuber because I can't. Oh, there we go. I'll put it on top. Does that work?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I should have used different headphones.
Yeah.
All right, 1 second.
Yeah, we got our nice One Piece. We're looking the part.
I am jelly that you can wear yours because I got the over-the-top headphones. I have the regular ones too, but I think they're the one like you have, but they're in my color, I think. But that's dope. You should wear yours.
Yeah, I choose to wear my. But I was say if any chat knows what anime these are from, then they're very cultured.
All right, yeah. If you tapped in, let me know because I don't think I could tell. Can I say it again?
If you're not a lover of romance anime, then you probably won't recognize them.
I mean, I do. I don't know if it counts as romance, but this is an anime that got brought up to me at the wedding, and it was the time I looked at the dude and I said, you wanted them. You tapped in. It was the same guy who called me on the Boku no stuff. I asked him what one of his favorite anime was, and he said Rosario Vampire, and I was like, bro, I love that show anime.
I haven't heard about that in ages.
It was one of the
first. I haven't thought about it in ages.
Yeah, I know. It was one of the first ones I watched, really. I mean, not really the first ones of anime I watched. Obviously, throughout the years, 4Kids, Toonami, I watched a lot. But once I found out, like, the world of anime for real like that, and I went diving for cool stuff, I just seen, obviously, a cute anime girl on the cover, and I was like, that looks way different than Naruto. So I clicked on it, and I was like, I like this. This is dope. All right, guys. If I ever tangent, I'm addicted to it. You can call me back and tell me to get to going to why you clicked on this video. Drum Island, you said it's one of your favorites pre-time skip. I thought Drum Island was really good because, again, the emotion stuff. And I know we're not supposed to do this, but the outside lore made me like reverse Drum Island more. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Oda said, you know, at the end of it where it does that little, like it tied the whole thing together with the was it fireworks? What was it that went up? It made the blossoms. That made the tree?
The fireworks. Yeah,
or whatever. Oda said all that was an accident. Like he was drawing the story, and then he drew the story, and he wrote the story. And then after he finished it, he was like, it looking like a tree or whatever, and then like tying back to the like backstory and stuff like that was like more accident if anything. It was like a living story. And I like that because it made me feel like Oda really is he was like, you know, hockeyed up with that. With his pen,
yeah,
because he actually wrote it and he was like going along with it. It's kind of like whenever you're starting a character, like this is a side tangent again, but like on Family Guy, I read one time that Seth MacFarlane was like he had no plan for Stewie and Brian to be friends, like best friends. It just happened through the chemistry of the writing, and that makes the show feel real, more real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, where would you put Drum Island? Top of your head?
I'd probably go. I don't want to put too much stuff in A, but I feel because Chopper's backstory. Oh no, there is other stuff apart from the backstory that's really good. I do have a soft spot for Wapol as a villain. I'd probably go A.
Oh, Wapo. Okay, that's the thing about Wapo. I love Wapo. Like, I did that video with the Wapo short because in my head, Wapo. This is what I mean. This is one of the things that This is one of the things. If you've been watching the stream since the beginning, remember how I mentioned that what was that cat guy's name again?
Kuro.
Yeah, one of the things that he had that other ones didn't. He didn't do shit after he lost. I think we seen him in like a boat one time reading a newspaper, but he hasn't done anything. If y'all don't know, and go watch my video after this if you want to, but the cover story for Wapo is amazing. He's a horrible person, but after Luffy, beats his butt, he basically gets really, really poor, then uses his power to entertain himself, then invents a bunch of toys, then opens a toy shop, then invents a new metal, then becomes like a billionaire, marries a supermodel, and literally has Wapo Industries, and it's just like a titan of the One Piece world. Like, he added so much to the world building because now it's funny that while we got all this other stuff going on, some people out there are just Bill Gates in it and like just kind of doing their, like, they're not worried about nothing. It made me feel like there's other people that's like, yeah, all this like pirate shit is cool, but I really want my bakery to pop off or whatever. It reminded me that not everybody wants to be like a pirate, So that's dope. You said A. What happened in it that was boring? Oh, also it gave us more lore because didn't Blackbeard like attack that place?
First mention of Blackbeard.
That was the first mention of him.
Yeah, I think it's Dalton who first mentions. It's either Dalton or Wapple. One of the two first is the first person to mention Blackbeard.
Okay, so I might change it. I will put it in A right now because I mean, at the end of the day, this is the problem with One Piece. There's so many arcs, and it's so much better than Loguetown, Orangetown, and Reverse Mountain.
Yeah.
So it has to go A. Be honest. So let us know A or B for that one. It can't go S, but yeah. Let's see. 1 second. I'm gonna read the chat right quick. Drum Island is a B. Paper. What's up, Paper? Is that Konosuba? Is that a Konosuba AVI or what's your AVI? I can't see that well, but yeah. Oh, Little Garden is the A. Paper said Little Garden is the A. Where do we put it? Oh, A. Okay, for sure. Oh, Victoria said that was my brother typing all that M stuff. I was confused why you put M so many times. I was like, there's no M tier. Here, I'll let y'all read this real quick while I'm doing it. Let's see. Osmond said Luffy climbing that mountain with the frostbite. Oh, you're so right. I made a video about that one time, but I privated it. But yeah, Luffy. Where you get the really sad stuff with the rabbits? Do you remember it, Seth?
Yeah. What are they called? They're
loppers or something. Like
loppers. And begins with an L. Or maybe it begins with an R. It's Japanese.
No. See, y'all go hard, chat. Y'all always reminded me of the best stuff.
And the Walking Bear. That's another peak comedy scene in.
I really
Island, where the bear just walks past.
I'll agree with you about that. Post time skip is grander, but pre time skip was super funny.
Yeah, I mean, post time skip has funny moments, but a lot of my favorite comedy moments are always going to be pre time skip.
Let's see. I just read something that I like the start and end of Drum Island. Also, it was my first showing of Luffy's desperate side when Nami got kicked. Oh, yeah. Very, very true. Oh, no, sick. Oh, no, you're right. I was thinking kick because I think she did get kicked too by was the rabbit? No, they was protecting her from them. But no, you're right. That was actually pretty cool. That's what we said about emotional intelligence. Luffy got really worried. Like, he didn't like this no more. And we talk about all the time, that's a problem that Luffy has, where he forgets how serious of an adventure they're on. But that was one of the time where he was like, Nami, haha, we're on this cool pirate adventure. You can't be getting sick. And it got to the point where I think Luffy was like, wait, can my friends die? Like, she does not look okay, So, okay. What about this? This is something people don't like about it. If this happened here, was the Yeti Core brothers in Drum Island?
No, Punk Hazard.
Oh, okay, cool. It was snowy though. Okay, because I know some people don't like them.
Oh, it's because they get hyped up so much and then they just don't do anything. It's pure just like Oda randomly was hyping the Yeti Cool Brothers up for some reason. I don't know why he was going so hard with them before they appear, and they do literally nothing.
Oh, Joel said your Leo Dog, what's up? Leo Dog made it. Nice. Oh, even Leo Dog came in with the Leo's one of the regulars, so big W's. Everybody show some love. I haven't seen the PokeTuber comment in a while, so if he's in here, he's a regular. Show some love. But it was called Lappins, so he came in with some One Piece knowledge to kick it off. Joel said Wapol truly was special. On God. No, legitimately. Like, he's still in the story. If you read the manga, he's still active.
Yeah.
Osmond said Wapol had the ultimate richest to rags to richest story in all of fiction. Wapol is, I'm telling you, if y'all don't read the cover stories, you should. Or I think I covered a few of them on the channel. But Wapol literally is he's like a celebrity, and he married a supermodel. Like, Wapol's living a kind of, now it's a little iffy, but yeah, he's at the top of the One Piece world basically. But without being a celestial dragon, he's about as high as you can get. Ace had a great feat as well. It never snowed while he was there.
That's true. Yeah,
nice.
And according to his, well, you'd think it'd be his fruit, but it's not. It was just due to a haki. Apparently, it was his haki that made it not snow when he was there, which is just pretty insane. Showing of haki from Ace. They just stopped it from snowing.
Yeah, that's no. Oh, really? That's some not foreshadowing, but like remember like great powerful Logia users can change the climate of an island. So he was a goat. All right, real quick, I'm almost caught up to the chats. Skeletor's Rose, what's up? Said Drum Island is a B for me because Wapol was an main villain. And then said unique ability with a unique use of it, but his ambitions for taking over was just like, I want to be greedy. So you're basically saying he wasn't like a deep character.
Yeah, I will say I give Wapol a lot of props because he's our first look at a corrupt ruler. Like, he's the first showing of what the world government's really like. He's our first corrupt king. And the best thing about Wapol is right at the end of the fight, he's like, I'm going to eat this and get even stronger. And then Luffy just punches him, and he doesn't even get to eat the last thing, so he doesn't even get to his strongest form. He gets beaten up before he even goes full power.
Yeah, I know.
Which is quite hilarious.
That was cool though. There was also a really cool moment where Luffy, because the first time we basically realized Luffy's a revolutionary. You know what I mean? Like, he held up he got blew. Something happened, right? Isn't that where he held up that thing so it wouldn't fall? The flag.
Yeah.
They tried They tried to take it down, and Chopper was looking at it, and he was holding up like that flag.
Yeah.
All right. So Victoria said, talking about Alabasta coming up next. Not to persuade you, Victoria said they consider it an A. And Dangerous, what's up? Dangerous is in the chat. He said it's insane that people like post time skip better than. Wait, he basically is saying it's insane that people like post time skip better. He likes pre time skip better. But he said maybe that's because I'm only on Whole Cake.
Well, I think Whole Cake's by far is the best that a post time skip has. So,
oh god. Okay. Well, interesting. Real quick, shout out Dangerous. He's also a YouTuber as well. So let's see. 1 second, I'm trying to get this back on the screen because I got to pull up whatever. Oh, he said, I'm still in Zou. Or Zou. Okay, Alabasta or Arabasta, Alabasta. Wait, see, that's another weird one because it's called Alabasta, right? But then I called it Arabasta in my video because of the stupid LR thing, and like 100 people was like, "You dumb piece of, you idiot, you monster. Do you even watch and or read One Piece?" And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. It's just the L's and R's keep switching. It's hard to keep up with. So which one is it? It's Alabasta?
I think Alabasta is what, as far as I'm aware, that is what the accurate one is, but who knows? Okay,
so all right, so I'm gonna try to keep this one because I can talk about that for an hour. So I'm gonna try to keep it a little like tapped in. Real quick, I think I went last 2 times. So give your quick thoughts on Alabasta. We have a few to get through.
Yeah, let's make these quick. Let's actually make our quick thoughts quick.
Okay.
Yeah, Alabasta or Arabasta, however, will be inclusive to whatever pronunciation people want to use. It's the first like big saga ending arc in One Piece in general. It's the first time. Yeah, it's the first time we've had a war basically. Like none of the conflicts have been on such a scale as Alabasta. It's the start of the trend of Luffy, losing to the big arc and then coming back stronger to beat them with Crocodile. Crocodile and like, Luffy's whole dynamic is, incredible. And it's, with Vivi stepping up to save her country and Ace, introduction of Ace as well. We can't forget Ace is introduced in Alabasta.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And the Kung Fu Dugongs, who are that's another thing. Alabasta has the best animal companions because it's got Smiles and Eyelashes.
Eyelashes, the camel.
Eyelash the camel, Smiles is the crab.
I'm gonna be honest. I loved Alabasta. That was the start.
Alabasta's
people
amazing.
Saying One Piece is getting too long because the arc was really long. But in my head, I'm like, this is what I want. Like, it felt like Luffy. There's no way Luffy could have just got there and finished all that in a day. There was a whole political war, underground king, ruler. Like, Alabasta mirrored a lot of like Dressrosa. And it's like Yeah, sorry, I was just gonna say like, if you don't like Alabasta, you just need to delete One Piece out of your drive because that's peak One Piece. It's what you watch One Piece for. Luffy overcoming adversity. Luffy not giving up. Him being crazy enough to die pretty much and come back because he's like, I don't give a crap. I'll keep trying. The Robin twist. Now, a lot of people got spoiled Robin was going to be on the crew, but if you was like reading the manga or something back then, it's like, I'm sure they was just like, what the?
I'd imagine it would have been a big twist if not. And the thing I will also say about Alabasta is it's a large scale conflict, lots of moving parts, but it's tight. What's the word?
Tight.
It's tight. There's only as many characters as need to be. There's not. I'm throwing shade at Post-Alabasta here. There's not tons and tons of irrelevant side characters wasting page space. It is tight characters. Obviously, there's the big blemish of the Pell moment, which I don't think anyone likes.
Okay, to be fair, I googled it, and he's a hawk fruit, right? He's a hawk bird person.
Yeah.
Okay, so they are the fastest animal in the entire world. I don't know if y'all knew that, but I googled fast is a hawk, okay, and it was like they can go like 120 to like 200 miles per hour when they're going down.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe that's it, or maybe he already was starting that I'm scared to kill people thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah. The Pell Arc is obviously the start of the really bad trend of Oda not of fake out deaths. It's the same. Yeah, it's the kind of same with like any of the bad fake out deaths where you can explain reasons why why they didn't die. But at the end of the day, Oda spent a whole chapter milking you dry of emotion and then just brings him back. And it just really, it makes Oda feel like he's a con man. He feels like a con man. He's stealing your emotions and then just saying, actually, no. It's why Elbaf might get another arc like Whiskey Pete where one moment will completely ruin the arc for me because there's a certain character that might be coming back that arc that is really gonna annoy me.
Oh yeah, for sure. I see what you're saying.
I'm not looking forward to that.
I think they're talking about. I'm gonna try not to give too many spoilers for Elbath and stuff.
But
I agree with you. I think I know who you're talking about because
that is
the current video I'm working on. I've touched on that a little bit.
Yeah, it's quite relevant to that one.
Yeah, but real quick though, I want to say because I'm gonna go ahead and rate Alabasta. There's a lot of little things in Alabasta that I think is important to realize. That all that stuff where there's like a side of revolution going on. Like Luffy's not the only one fighting a crocodile. There's like the other guy that's like went to the rebel side. I can't remember his name, but all that stuff made it really I think a S tier to me. If not Goda.
Yeah, I'd easily go S tier at the minimum.
What stops it for me in Goda? Sorry.
For me, it's because I don't know. There's like 3 or 4 arcs that I would put there. And I don't want that. I would put above it, and I just don't think that tier should have like any more than 3 arcs at like the max, in my opinion. Well, just to keep the tier list kind of special.
Crocodile is one of the dopest, like one of the coolest villains. I mean, I liked him because he really is smart. He thinks everything out, and he has a vengeance. He's one of the few people from the past generation that already failed once because when he lost his hand to like Whitebeard or whatever, who was like, I'm not done yet and's coming back. Real quick, I said Danger. I said thanks. I will say, I meant to say he covers like Digital Circus mostly. If y'all ever seen that, you know what that is?
Yeah, big fan of Digital Circus. New episode out next week as well.
Oh, okay. See, Danger Rush, you got a potential viewer right here.
Yeah.
So, he just dropped a 40-minute video on it. Leo Dog said, yeah, it's revealed in the manga. Oh, they're talking to each other. And then Leo Dog said, Alabasta is a grand arc with a lot of lead up, but still finds small personal moments like when Toto digging for that water in the desert. That was awesome.
Mm.
Yeah. Also, isn't that where Chopper used thought those people were brain point and stuff? That was
yeah. It's back when Chopper actually used his brain pot's actual ability, which is working out weaknesses.
That's my favorite.
That he just doesn't use anymore, which is. Obviously, Oda just forgot it exists, but it's so funny that his strongest ability just vanishes off the face of the earth.
Real quick, and like I said, we'll knock out these next couple pretty quick because they're not. But the Danger Ross and Leo said the audio was cutting out a little bit. Is it both of ours or just one? Just double check your mic and stuff and make sure it's plugged in all the way.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick, then I'm gonna go ahead and knock some of these out. So Jaya, I'd put Jaya as A.
Yeah, I'd be happy with A. It's obviously got some great moments.
Yeah, it has some of the
there's not
moments
too much to it. It's got the Blackbeard introduction, and the Bellamy fight, which are two of incredible scenes.
Okay, Blackbeard introduction, the Bellamy scene, the Bellamy fight, the way the Doflamingo, all the lore with him is just goated. Obviously, the introduction is one of the things that makes it realize One Piece isn't just broken up with Marines and revolutionaries and pirates. Even within those, there are different sanctions of pirates that just want money, but they're cool being small. Pirates that want great things like Bellamy, but also are subservient to the real gangsters like Doflamingo, and then the ones that basically believe in magic and ones that don't. Like Luffy, and Blackbeard. And it's so much foreshadowing, so much well writing so quickly. So I'm putting that one A tier. Skypiea, you go first on this one.
Skypiea's obviously got the reputation for being the arc people skip for some reason. Not sure why people skip it, but I think it's really solid. I don't think it's quite as good as the other big arcs of pre-time skip. I don't think it's on the level of an Alabasta or a Enies Lobby or anything like that, but I don't think it's a really solid arc. I think Enel is he's a really good punchable villain. He's a real awful human being, and it's just nice seeing Luffy punches. It's also got one of my favorite pre-time skip Sanji moments of Sanji of the I just need a light moment after he gets.
I just need a light is one of the greatest. It's like Zoro, it's like his nothing happened moment.
Yeah.
It's not just that. I want to call this. Obviously, there's a really big video in One Piece called the greatest One Piece theory ever made on One Piece YouTube. 3 weeks before that, I put a tweet out on my Twitter, which is in the bio, by the way, if you want to follow me, a description. I swear to God, I was rereading Skypiea just because I was one of the few people that liked it. Like I said, I like that kind of stuff, world building and stuff. And I put a tweet out that said, if you skip Skypiea, you will never understand One Piece fully, and you'll never appreciate some revelations in the future. A few weeks later, O'Hara puts out that video, and it just blows up. And everybody's talking about Skypiea again, and I retweeted that, and I was I literally told you that's my foresight hockey working. And then I made a video about me saying that kind of stuff because there's so much lore. If you remember, Oda only planned One Piece to be 5 years originally, so he was dumping a lot of lore in the early arcs and then started stretching it out once he realized it's gonna be longer. All right, so Skypiea, where would you put it?
I'd probably go A. You could maybe convince me up to an S, but I'd probably go A. The Nolan flashback exists too, which is one of the best flashbacks in this. But I can think of a lot more arcs I'd put above it, so I'd probably go A. It's hard. If A plus was figured, it'd be there, but I'll probably stick to my guns and say A for it. But if you want to go S, then you might be able to tempt me.
I would Skypiea, let us know what you think in the chat. I'm gonna leave it at A right now because, like I said, I don't want S and go to because
we don't want
it
S
was kind of slow, and there's a lot of characters and stuff that like obviously are having because it does feel a little separated from the rest of the story for now. Like they're their own world. Most people don't know they exist. I feel like when Mad Monk LaRouge or whatever his name is comes back in, they'll come back into play. But as of now, I'm going A. All right, Long Ring Lone Land. Give me your 1 minute thoughts.
I know it gets a bad rap. Most people don't like it. I think it's a fun arc.
Afro Luffy, never
obviously,
forget.
Yeah, Afro Luffy's great. I think Foxy's very fun. Obviously, we have the ending with Kuza, which is quite a impactful moment. At the end of the day, it doesn't do anything particularly, but I don't think it's bad by any means. I'd probably
go ahead. You go first. I want to hear what you say.
I'd probably go B tier just because although there's elements of it that I really, really like, I wouldn't put it on par with the others.
It was almost too slow.
Yeah, I love this all the jokes at the beginning with the stilts and the long animals. I do find that quite funny.
That's probably gonna knowing Oda, that's gonna be the most important thing he's ever showed in the entire series.
Probably.
Like every time somebody's like, this arc was okay, it's like the most important arc lore wise. Okay. I went B, just being honest. I mean, obviously, it didn't have the highest highs, you know. Oh, but I did really, because it's relevant to my video I'm doing now. I did like all of the like Kuzan stuff because it put the admirals on a level where I was more scared of them than the pirates. Let's see. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Just making sure. I'm moving Skypiea up to S because 2 people said Goda.
And there we go then.
Yeah, and then anime Lil Dog said Goda, and then also Anime Monarch said Skypiea is S tier, and it was the best villain in One Piece with the coolest fruit. Fight me on it.
I mean, his fruit is pretty damn cool. I would kind of argue how cool the fruit is.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I love Skypiea, and I'm glad we put it S. Thank you for pulling me out of my like D glaze. I love glaze in One Piece, and I do think that Skypiea is probably S tier. He was a threat, like Sky, and also NL used or NL, however you say it. He also used hockey for the first time, first person. I think it's Khalil Botch Fruit says hello. What's spoiled? So like I really didn't know who was gonna join. There was so many moments in that I could talk about this forever, like an hour. But I think that's easily a god tier. It's hard to argue against it. All right, what about Enies Lobby?
Best arc in the series, for me. I think it has the highest.
You think it's the best arc in the series?
Yeah, it does everything I like about One Piece the best. It arguably has the best flashback in the series. It's got the best character writing in the series. Luffy's speech at the beginning of the arc is by far the best speech Luffy's ever given. Has incredible fights. I can't say enough great stuff about Enies Lobby.
Nice. Okay. 1 sec. I obviously think Enies Lobby is one of the best. I mean, I think it's probably. I mean, when you combine Water 7 and Enies Lobby, you get the greatest like super arc basically in one in fiction in general. There's so much lead up, so much emotion, so much like you get answers finally. One Piece sucks to give an answer sometimes. The Robin I want to live moment. Usopp shows out with Sniper King stuff. I heard they're related. I'm not sure though. Oh, they know each other. There's so much stuff. Enies Lobby is Goda. Water 7 Goda. Enies Lobby Goda. Post Enies Lobby. What do you think? You know what that is? You remember?
Yeah. It's hard because like not that much generally happens, so it's harder. Like, quite the stuff that does happen is very important though. Like I'd probably give it B.
Post Enies Lobby is like you get the flashback of Luffy and all those people. You get the reveal of like Sabo. You get I think I wrote something else down too. I wrote something down for that one. You also get the Shanks meeting with Whitebeard about the dangerous to Blackbeard.
I thought the Luffy flashback didn't happen till what's it called? Post Marineford, didn't it? I thought that was the Garp stuff in Post.
Sorry, you're actually right. I wrote down Post War Arc. I skipped one. Yeah, Post Enies Lobby. I wrote down. You get the end to the Usopp conflict, like whenever he's leaving and he's like, Zoro had told him that he has to ask to come back.
Yeah, and the Sonny being built, which is quite a good moment.
Yeah, and then I'm pretty sure that's where Shanks had that meeting with Blackbeard that caused a lot of theories and also gave us some more lore and how dangerous Blackbeard was.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah.
All right. Yep. And now, yeah, sorry, we're gonna knock out some of these fast. One, because we're both kind of on a time thing, and two, some of y'all said it was glitching a little bit, and I just want to make sure we knock out all of them in case something happens.
Yeah.
Post-Enies Lobby, I would put A.
Yeah, sure. Yep. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Because it's definitely better than the B and Z on here. Okay, this is my thriller bar. This is my controversial take, so I want to be able to go first on this one. Like pull the thing up here. Okay, Thriller Bark is one of the most underrated arcs in all of One Piece. I just do not see the hate. I've reread it. I've rewatched it. I don't know if I'll make it, but I wanted to do a super Thriller Bark video for the spooky island stuff. Obviously, is awesome. Like the floating ship and stuff. That was something unique. We get Brook, obviously, which is like one of the most unique characters in One Piece. We get all the backstory, one of the best backstories in One Piece with Brook, the best world building. I guarantee you, in the future, Thriller Bark is become going to become one of those ones where Oda foreshadowed a lot of stuff. We have the nothing happened moment. Obviously, pushes it up a whole tier right by itself. There's a lot of mini moments in it where Brook joining the crew. We get Bink Saki. There's all kind of theories out there that Bink Saki is like a puzzle piece to the secret to the One Piece. We get Perona. We get all these like mad scientist information. I thought it was hilarious how everybody kept switching personalities, and Sanji was like the penguin and stuff. I don't know. Perona's one of my favorite characters. I think the devil fruits in it was really cool. The shadow fruit and Perona's fruit are very unique. We learned Sanji's like mini dream about like being invisible and stuff. It was a good arc. I liked it. Where would you put it?
I agree with everything you said. I think it's one of the best arcs in One Piece, and I think it is highly underrated.
I don't even know what people hate it for. I'm gonna put it A.
People don't like it because you come straight off of Enies Lobby, which is massive stakes, and you just have because it's a low key arc afterwards. It seems it feels like Enies Lobby, especially with all the Whitebeard Shanks build up. It feels like we're heading into Marineford basically.
Yeah,
and then you've got Thriller Bark. I think that's why people don't like it, because they're trying to get to Marineford. But it's one of my, it's possibly top 5 arcs for me in One Piece. I adore Thriller Bark. It's again, it has all my favorite elements of One Piece.
Yeah, like you said, it's the best parts of pre-time skip.
Yeah, I love Thriller
Luffy
Bark
has
so
to
much.
think. Luffy's not strong enough. Luffy has to do the whole shadow stuff. We get Nightmare Luffy. They all work together. Frankie, the team like jump people. We have Zoro versus Ryuma. So much lore foreshadowing. I'm telling you.
Frankie actually does stuff, which he generally doesn't do in any arcs after this.
That's funny. All right, Sabaody Archipelago.
Oh, Sabaady's so good as well. Obviously, introduction of the supernova, even if half of them don't really become relevant. We've got obviously the slave auction is because it's a part of the series. It's a section series where they can't just punch their way through it. I mean, in the end, Luffy does end up punching his way through it, but like it's a different obstacle where it's not just a power-based thing. They are up against they're up against the world itself, the status quo of the world nobles. It's the time where we really discover the celestial dragons and the true corruption of the world. Kiza and Rayleigh
with Saint Charlos and the slavery, and you just get so much like. Again, it's Oda reminding us, like, hey, this is cool. We just had some really fun stuff, but remember, this world is very complicated. And this is what made One Piece so long, because that's when Oda introduced all the supernovas and shit. So
the reveal that Rayleigh was Rayleigh is still one of the best reveals in the series. Like that, this just old slave just turns out to be Rayleigh is just such a sick twist.
Oh my god. And really, we get to see Kizaru show up, and that's another admiral. That's another admiral that let us know like these admirals are on demon time. Like they really could watch me. If it wasn't for Rayleigh, like all the sharks would have died right there, and Kuma.
Yeah.
A or S?
I'd go S tier. I think it's such a great. There's so many great things about Sabaody.
Shout out everybody in the chat. I know I'm not reading all of them right now. We're trying to knock some of these out, but I will say earlier somebody asked what I was using. Yeah, it's Ethernet. I did a speed test too, and I'm not getting like as fast as possible, but I was still like 600 or something. That's way more than you should need for streaming, I think. 600 up. I mean down anyway. And then somebody said Sabaody is Goda tier, and then somebody else says y'all should have put Skypiea on Goda tier or God tier. Goda tier or God tier. It's kind of the same thing. It's working on PC now. Yeah, it might be depending on the device you're using, because I'm watching the stream myself on my side, and it's looks like it's pretty good. So hopefully the recording's gonna be good, because I would like to leave this one up. It's been really fun, and it taught me that I have to work even harder on not tangenting. All right, Amazon Lily. I'll go first on this one real quick. I like Amazon Lily a lot. It was another one of those that was kind of slower. You know what I'm saying? There was no great threat, but it reminded me of like the best parts of like I like the Boa is somebody who changes from when we meet her. There's an island of all girls that's really cool. It was so funny that because everybody gets sent everywhere, and it's so funny that Sanji didn't get sent to his dream paradise. And I loved Luffy having to fight, and like really it was low-key losing a little bit, and had to it was cool to see Luffy vulnerable again.
Yeah, definitely. It also got some incredible comedy as well. As bad taste as it is, Boa kicking baby seals and puppies and stuff is
yeah, dude, hilarious. I loved Boa's introduction. Like I said, the Oda's most underrated quality is his character introductions. So you meet this girl, and you probably are like, okay, she's pretty cute, and then all of a sudden she's like, I'm so fine, I could kick puppies and choke out bunnies, and you will still love me. It was just such a cool, extreme character.
Yeah, and she looks down on you so much that she ends up looking backwards instead.
Yeah, that's so funny. Shout out to Boa. I'm a Boa fan. I mean, what can I say?
It's also technically the arc where we see all the Straw Hats land on their islands.
Lots of lore,
yeah. And obviously, Luffy jumping on top of, is it Marigold or is it the other one? There's Boa's sister to cover her slave stamp is like such a great moment for Luffy as well.
That's not where Luffy. No, that can't happen yet. It hasn't happened. Wait, Impel Down for. Oh no, that's where they all go train first. So that's where we get to see Luffy train with Rayleigh in the woods, and he's fighting all those bears and shit. Where would you put this? I think B or A.
B probably. There's not anything in it enough to warrant it on par with the A tiers.
It's a bridge. It's a bridge arc. You get to see more of the world. Luffy getting Luffy training. You get to introduce a lot of characters like Boa, which then we learn more lore that could Luffy's mom be from there or whatever? Because that one person said and all the other Amazon Lily queens or whatever, they all kind of ran away too or got sick. It was dope.
Yeah, because obviously. Sharky went with Rayleigh. Her mum was on the what's it called? What are they called? Zabek's crew.
Zabek's crew. Oh, the Rocks Pirates.
Yeah, and the Rocks Pirates. And obviously, Boa's grandmother or great grandmother. One of them obviously was part of the Rocks Pirates as well.
Yeah. I think, like I said, it's B. The lore is A tier, but just in general, compared to these other ones,
not that enough happens in the arc, really.
All right, Blocks Fruit said Boa needs to remember Luffy's age. Yeah, she wasn't too concerned with that. Danger Ross said, I love when Luffy fought with the Snake Sisters. Yeah, that was cool. Like I said, there was so many funny little moments. Remember the mushroom one when he seen the mushroom thing? That was funny. Okay, so Impel Down. You go first.
Impel Down's like the first arc. Technically Amazon Lily is, but the first proper arc where Luffy hasn't got his crew with him. He's doing it solo. And so we get such an interesting cast because it is all his past foes coming back and them joining together and springing a giant prison break that in the long run probably was horrendous. Well, we know CP0 went and captured all the prisoners who escaped anyway, but Luffy just released hundreds of just bloodthirsty criminals onto the world.
Yeah, honest to God, love. I'd put it A or S. What do you think?
I'd go S tier. It's just such a fun arc, and it's got some really cool moments. Blackbeard versus Luffy for the first time is
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. We got so much
Jinbei's
payoff,
introduction
so much
as well.
Learn more about Ace. We learned more about how the villains. Like there's people like Magellan out there that is OP that we don't even get to see because he's got a job.
Yeah. Well, we can't see him because he's stuck in the toilet, isn't he?
Yeah. yeah. So I love. Oh, that's my favorite Buggy. Like a Buggy and Luffy's relationship.
Yeah, and up until this point, this was the start of Buggy's gag of falling upwards. Like up until this point, Buggy like in Orange Town wasn't a comedic character. Buggy was treated as kind of serious antagonist. But this is when his gag really starts of him, you know, going on to become a warlord and a Yonko, and I imagine he will make it to Laughdale. I'd be shocked if he doesn't make it.
Yeah, and that was a really good moment too for that was another really good moment too for like I don't know how to say it. Like the way Blackbeard acted, you was one of the first times you was like, there's something weird with this guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go back to I gotta figure out how to. There it is. Great. Okay. We put it in S tier. Yeah. Like I said, we'll talk about more of these later on. All right, Marineford. Let's see. I mean, that's obviously a Goda, right?
Yeah. As messy as you can say some of the writing is in parts and the power scaling especially, you can't deny just how amazing this arc is and how it works. There's so much going on, but it still tells a very cohesive story. Has probably, in my opinion, the greatest death in One Piece. Whitebeard's death is legendary. Obviously, it spawned the One Piece is real meme.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not just that. What I think was so great about personally, what I thought was so great about the Marineford arc, it just re-centered and invigorated not just the One Piece world, but the One Piece fan base. Because it was like, okay, we got all this crap going on. It's been going on for so long, and everything was just like Whitebeard's like, yo, it's out there, and then you got like all these other pirates that are like, y'all still gonna be the GOAT. Shanks shows up and it's like, hey, don't forget about me. It was like Oda was like, I gotta tell everybody that this shit isn't over yet, and you're just tasting what's gonna come great. Then immediately after, Oda's like, oh, by the way, the final war is gonna be way better than that war. And it was just so much. You got to see how Buggy, his charisma was on par of like Conquerors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to see like all these the conflictedness between like all the admirals and and you got to see I talk about this a lot in my video. I'm doing it right now. You get to see how nuanced the justices are, because like Akainu is supposed to be the Marine fighting for good. He's about to murk Koby, because Koby just wants to stop the bloodshed. He already killed his other Marine, and then a pirate is the one who saves him. All this is being live streamed. So I don't know if like we ever gonna see this, but if I'm a civilian, I'm like, was that Marine about to kill his own and did a pirate save him? It like showed how complicated the politics of One Piece are. So I mean, it's I think it's one of the greatest war arcs in all of anime and fiction. Marineford's awesome for so many reasons. So I'm gonna keep that short. It's good.
Yeah. Marineford's great, and it's had just such a legacy. Like, there's so much legacy to it, not only in the story but just in the fandom as well. Like, it's the start of the Mihawk being a fraud allegations come straight from this arc.
Yeah.
With Vista, the true world's strongest swordsman. Marineford just speaks for itself. Ace is such a tragic character, but the only One Piece video I've ever made was about Garp and Ace's relationship in this arc. It's just a really, really, really solid arc, and it's Luffy failing. It's Luffy at his absolute lowest. And he has to. Yeah, it's just a great arc, and it's got Whitebeard, and Whitebeard is the GOAT. So
very goated. Real quick too. Danger Ross said Marine Ford is goated, God tier for me, and then I agree. I mean, it's one of the best arcs ever, really. Let's see. Somebody else said something too I wanted to mention. Oh, Danger Ross said, I was a Boa fan until Oda made her I was a Boa fan until Oda made her whole personality about being a simp. And then Blocks Fruit said the sad part is all the stuff about Ace and Garp and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of nuance to Marineford too about And it's so crazy because I don't want this video to be an hour long, but you could really do a whole video just on like Garp's moral judgment that day, deciding not to save. You know, it was just crazy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lore Plus Devs, and then Leo Dog said Galaxy Impact would have happened, should have happened, basically.
Yeah, Akainu would have got absolutely demolished if Garp had tried.
I know, that's the thing, is now we know that Garp is not all talk.
Garp, yeah. I always find this funny where the strongest person at Marine, the two strongest people at Marineford were most likely Garp and Mihawk, and neither of them did anything.
I know.
Like, it depends how strong you think Whitebeard is at this point, how ill he is. It's hard to scale him, but like, at the very least, like, Mihawk and Garp there are like two of the strongest characters in the verse, just chilling, and neither of them really did anything in that entire arc.
One of the crazy parts too is that like there's I don't know, the One Piece world is complicated. Like Garp single-handedly could have shifted the entire One Piece world that day.
Yeah,
or
easily.
We really haven't got to see how strong that previous Admiral is. What's his name? The Buddha guy?
What? Sengoku?
Sengoku, yeah. Sengoku.
I thought you were talking about Kong for a minute. I was like, we're never going to see anything from Kong.
All right, so real quick, obviously, Marineford, God tier. Probably do a whole video on it one day, but it's one of the greatest arcs of all time. Post-War Arc. This is the one I mentioned earlier. Top of the head, before you talk about it, where would you put it and then justify it? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm just trying. Well, Post-War Arc, like, the Luffy flashback is obviously part of it, which is, you know, very good. I wouldn't say it's the best of the Straw Hat backstories, but it's pretty good. But it does have one moment that I still stand as one of the best moments in One Piece, which is Jinbei telling Luffy, you may have lost your brother, but you still have your crew. And that, like, inspiring Luffy to keep fighting, it's just the essence of, like, what One Piece is all about to me. So I adore this arc just for that one moment. And then you got them going back to Marineford, and just the balls of Luffy to just walk back into Marineford to ring that bell, and no one stopping him is just amazing.
There's something else. I'm trying to remember. There's something else that happened in the Post-War Arc. Flashback. Oh, didn't he ring the bell?
Yeah. He goes. Yeah, he walks into Marineford to ring the bell.
I don't know.
If and the Marines just watch.
Oh yeah, that's okay. That's exactly what it was. Okay. No, I definitely thought that was dope, because also the whole writing on the wall thing was really dope. One second. Not writing on the wall. The writing on his arm and like knowing that his friends with the whatever.
Yeah, to get the message. Yeah.
And what I think that's all there. Oh, and also Jinbei was a real one in that one too. That added a lot of depth to his character.
Yeah, Jinbei's just amazing.
Where would you put it at?
Probably A. I don't think there's just not enough. Even though it's one of my all-time favorite One Piece moments, I don't think there's enough substance in it to warrant it being an S tier.
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah, it's probably A for me. Obviously, introduction of Sabo as well, who's obviously quite an important character down the line.
That's definitely A. So return to Sabaody. What started the return to Sabaody?
Sabaody. I think it starts on Sanji. I think it's Sanji we start on. It's just the meeting up, fake Straw Hat stuff. Then Zoro going underwater on a ship by accident. And then it comes
real quick. Danger Ross said C. Which one were you talking about? C. You talking about Post-War Arc C or Impel Down? And also, Leo Dog said I couldn't agree more with the Jinbei moment. Yeah, the Jinbei moment was dope because it was like he played the role of his Zoro. Like, hey man, like snap into gear. I see some potential in you, and this is sad, but you can do something about it, or you can, you still got your friends, and if you don't level up, then they're gonna be gone too. So get right. So yeah, I agree. Real quick, Sabaody. You're talking about where they fight that Kraken. That starts it.
No. It starts. They all meet on Sabaody after the time skip, and Nami and Usopp go into a bar and they run into Tomorrow Black and his fake straw hats.
Oh, okay,
all that stuff happens, and then they end up fighting the Pacifistas and Caribou. And Luffy and Zoro and Sanji just show how much.
I like that.
I
like all that. And everybody flexes how strong they got.
Yeah,
that's an A, bro. I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's a really it's just a fun arc. It's a good flex
I could
arc.
put it even on S, really, because
and it's got Soul King's last concert as well. There's
S. You convinced me.
yeah.
So Soul King's last concert. Sorry, I did that off screen. I had it over here on A, and then I moved it to S. Basically, obviously, you get to see. You got so much payoff. We do not get that much payoff usually. That was like a literal just glaze fest of payoffs, just euphoric, back to back to back to back. And obviously so many funny moments. We had Zoro and Sanji working together, even if it's by accident. We had Luffy being a goat.
Sanji like grabbing hold of Zoro so he doesn't walk off and get lost.
Yeah, it was dope.
He holds his hat.
More Kuma, more Kuma lore. That was dope.
Chopper mistaking the straw hats with the fake ones. Then Luffy mistaking the fake straw hats for the real straw hats.
Dude, Luffy just be cracking me up. He's just such a straightforward person. All right, Fishman Island Arc. I got a opinion about that. Pretty strong. You go first. I want to hear what you think.
Fishman Island does have its issues. I do think for being the first arc in the time skip, it really not much happens. It's really low stakes for that. But if you take it out of the context of being the first arc in post time skip, it's a really solid arc. It has a great flashback. It has really good character writing. Hodie's not the strongest of villains in my opinion, but I still think he's very good. Nami and Jinbei apologizing to Nami for Arlong stuff is a great moment. The blood transfusion is incredible. Luffy flexes a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do like the idea that the Straw Hats just steamroll everyone, but they're showing how strong they've gotten. But at the same time, it does mean that like there's like no real challenge in this first arc, really. But overall, I think it's a very, very, very good arc. I understand why people don't like it purely just for its placement in the story.
Okay. I agree with everything you're saying, and you. I was kind of gonna go there because you mentioned something earlier. One of the reasons people don't like Thriller Bark is because we just had the highest heights that anybody could ever have, the greatest run in fiction, and then all of a sudden, it comes all the way down. So this same thing, I think though, if you look at it from a standpoint, if you take a break with the Straw Hats and you jump in this fresh. It's one of the best arcs. And the reason is there's so much nuance and it resets this feeling of like, oh, remember how there's Skypiea? One Piece world is, and there's so much going on. The stuff on the bottom of the sea is just as crazy as stuff in the top of the sea. And this is what I liked about it. The villain, what's his name again? Hodie. He wasn't supposed to be a Kaido villain. It was supposed to be nuance. This is a guy who was corrupted by the government because he trusted everything that the newspaper said. So he already had all this hate for his idol was Fisher Tiger, right? He thinks Fisher Tiger's going out doing all this kind of crazy stuff, whatever. The only thing the freaking world government is reporting on is not the world government, but I guess technically it was the world government, but really it was the big bird, Big Morgan.
Yeah.
He's basically gassing that he's out there slaughtering humans, which he's not. So, like, if he was reading every day in the newspaper that he was out there fighting to save humans and free slaves, then maybe Horty would have looked up to a guy who, so it was one of those real life moments where a government creates their own enemy. You know what I'm saying? It's like you could look at the Castros or the whoever, I don't know what, the revolution and stuff, where it gets complicated. Some people revere them, but they believe the stuff, and some people don't. It's just a whole bunch of stuff. It was so real. And you almost felt bad for him because he got lost in the sauce and then the drugs and stuff like that. If you don't look at Fishman Island as like Marineford, it's great. But if you're in One Piece for the Marineford parts of it, you won't love it. But the moment where Luffy goes, somebody mentioned it in the chat earlier too. I'll give you a shout out in a second when hold on. Basically said this is where I think it was Blox Fruits. Fishman Island was Luffy does his Conqueror hockey. That moment meant a lot. Everybody's ready for this big war. We wasn't supposed to come from time skip and then they struggle. That'd have been dumb. We come back from the time skip and then they struggle. No, Luffy goes out, wipes out everybody pretty much single-handedly. Conqueror hockeys. Zoro's out. That's my big bro. That's the end of it. I liked it. All right. So what's next? We're almost wrapping up. Probably about 10 more, five more minutes, 10 more minutes, we can be done. Fishman Island Arc. I'm going A. I don't care what nobody says. Punk Hazard. I think Punk Hazard is probably an A too. Would you agree? Or B?
Yeah. I go B, but I could put it in A. A or B.
I'll put it in B because there's a parts I didn't like about it. I thought it was a little slower than what I liked, but it was really good at like, again, showing the devastation of the admirals fighting. And I thought Caesar was really cool. I like how strong he was. When he was like, he really almost wiped out all the Straw Hats with his oxygen powers and stuff. And let's try to remember something. Sorry, go ahead.
So I do find it insane. We don't know how Devil Fruits reincarnate till Punk Hazard. It always blows my mind. It takes till that for us to even know Devil Fruits can reincarnate, because we didn't learn that till Punk Hazard. So up until Punk Hazard, we didn't know Devil Fruits could be used more than once. And I always just find it crazy. It's that far into the story we find what we take for granted is a very normal thing to know.
Knowledge, yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
So yeah, Punk Hazard also had a lot of cool
stuff.
Got
the Yeti Cool Brothers.
Oh, and then all right, so D. I'm just joking.
Yeah, it's obviously got Doflamingo versus Aokiji as well.
Well, also
at the end,
we get to learn about how Doflamingo, how deep his family goes. Because remember that one guy was in the Marines. He made one of his lieutenants leave and become a Marine to be plugged in.
Good old Virgo, gone too soon.
And we got how I know, right? And we got a lot of like twist and not twist, but like I thought it was cool how we tied Nami's trauma back to wanting to save kids and stuff like that. All right, so
my big issue is it's the start of one of my biggest issue post time skip, which is it becoming the Law show, and this is the arc where Law just becomes the main character instead of Luffy.
Okay, give us your opinions on Law. 1 out of 10 in the chat. How much you like Law as a character? Because one of the things that, not that I feel bad for Oda because it's his story, but one of the reasons is Oda was shocked at how much people love Law. Because I remember him thinking, and it's so ironic how the fan base is, because Oda, when he created all the supernovas, he thought Kid was going to be the fan favorite.
And I can understand that, because Kid now, Kid, if you read any of Kid's dialogue in Sabaody, it is some of the coolest dialogue in One Piece. Because sometimes just reread Sabaody and just focus on Kid's lines.
Yeah.
They're all like really deep and thought-provoking philosophical quotes on the state of the world and what it means to be a pirate. Like it's like Blackbeard kind of dialogue.
Yeah.
Who knows what happens to that once we get the Poe time skip and he becomes an absolute bum. But like pre-time skip, like Kid is so cool. It just doesn't really live up to any of those. I don't know what Oda just started writing him differently, I guess. But like his dialogue is so cool when they're in the slave auction and when they're fighting the Marines and stuff. It's really cool.
I'm so glad I don't remember where I put was that Sabaody?
Yeah,
I'll put an S. Okay, it almost might go God tier because I think that recontextualized so much because Luffy had been through like a lot, and I remember it added so much world building where the other pirates were paying attention to the other pirates. So when when they see Luffy, they heard he's a crazy mother because all the stuff at Enies Lobby. They had heard he's a wild boy, and then they see him and they go, "Oh, that's that kid. That's the one that's supposed to be crazy." Then he punches the celestial dragon, and they're like, "All right, so he's about it." And then when they all walk out, and they're the three Kid, Law, and all them, and they all kind of flex on each other. It was cool.
Yeah, it's great. Oh, I can't remember what it is. But he says that during that scene, he says a line, and it's so cool. But I just cannot remember what it is for the life of me. The Kid says there, but it's a very cool moment. Yeah, Kid was so cool pre-time skip.
You should do a Kid analysis would be cool. I feel like nobody's done it right.
The issue of doing Kid analysis is I have to talk about Kid post-time skip. Kid post-time skip's just not great. I'd have to wait and see. I really have high hopes Elbaf might do something good with him. That could be copium, but
not for sure. Somebody said, "Oh wow," Danger Ross said Law's a 6 out of 10 to him.
Yeah, Law as a character himself is really, really cool. I love him as a character. It's just his usage in the story makes me dislike him.
Actually, rereading his whole message, he said what you said. He said when he was first introduced a 10, but later on a 6.
Yeah.
I see your comments also, Black Fruits, talking about Jolly Rogers, and you said, I already know what part Johnny is going to say for Dressrosa. Okay, real quick. All right, Dressrosa. I don't know if you've noticed, this is your first time watching me, but my AVI is Doflamingo. I know, and you might not know this, but Dressrosa is very controversial. Some people think it's too long. I have a feeling, based on what I'm learning about Self, is you probably think it's too many characters.
I know you love Dressrosa, so I don't want to say much because I know you love this arc a lot.
Well, I like the arc a lot because one, I like the aesthetic. I like getting introduced to a world that feels like Disneyland, and then you slowly learn the darkest arc. I like the I like the what do you call it? Like subverting my expectations.
Yeah,
I liked a lot of the devil fruits, and I love all the lore that doesn't get explained. Like, you know, it's darker than you think. Like in the manga, if I remember correctly, it's almost heavily insinuated that Doflamingo, like I said, you know, did some like pretty crazy stuff.
To Violet. Yeah.
And in the anime, it's like I don't think it's as heavily insinuated, but I know
no, it's toned down a little bit.
And for me, it's one of those things where it's like you got to stay on your toes, and I really appreciated that. Like the Straw Hats get there, and it's like they could have the Straw Hats adventure could have ended there, probably if not for Usopp. You know, if Luffy would have got taken out by Sugar, it's OV.
Yeah.
You know, I think Doflamingo's fruit is one of my favorite devil fruits.
It's just so versatile how he uses it. It's like Luffy of taking. Well, it's not Luffy anymore, but it was previous Luffy of having a pretty ass fruit and then making it. So versatile and cool. And it doesn't work now that we know Luffy's got a god fruit. But you know, back when it was a rubber fruit.
It was crazy. Real quick too. I was going to ask you off the top of your head if you can answer in 10 seconds while I'm pulling up the tier list. One of the questions I have for you was, what devil fruit would you choose? Because I know you thought about it. So if you could have any devil fruit, kind of a quick answer, what would you have? And in the chat, let us know too. In the chat, let us know what you would choose.
I'd probably go for Eneru's or Enel's fruit. Logia just in general makes a lot of sense. You know, there's so many cool applications of it. So probably Eneru's fruit. There's probably a better answer out there.
No, that's a good answer. I mean, I think it's
I think Laws is cool, apart from the aspect that every time you use it, it drains your own life force. Something that doesn't seem to really be addressed now, but that was mentioned when it was first introduced. So, Laws is really, really cool and useful, but I don't like the idea of draining my life away every time I use the goddamn fruit.
Yeah, Laws is really useful, but people forget Laws is only good if you're a doctor.
Yeah, you've got to have a very good understanding to use all of it.
I always thought that was a cool question because you honestly get more, sometimes I do polls and stuff about devil fruits, and some people I think the Asuna fruit is the sand fruit is underrated. Doflamingo's fruit's underrated. Are you sure you wouldn't want the mucus fruit?
Oh god. Mucus fruit is just horrid. Treble is just such a he just makes you feel gross.
I know. It's hard to read it.
Yeah, Big Mum's fruit would be another one that'd be pretty bloody cool.
We're getting
useful.
Yep. A lot of people, like I said, Dressrosa is very, very diverse. Some people say an A and S. Some people said it was too long and boring, too many characters. Sugar is very annoying. It's a very I know. Also, we got a freaking tournament arc that always boosts anime up when you throw in a tournament arc. Oh, and we got the one of my favorite characters, Bartolomeo. It's so cool to see it's a self-insert for One Piece fans. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. It's technically the stream's good on my channel, unless you record it and post it on yours or whatever. But the reason I'm gonna go with S since I technically have ultimate authority, and this can be the one.
I'll let you do what you want. Yeah,
this will be the one time that I pull that card. Okay, because I just like it, dude. It was so much. It was one of the first ones too that very much felt like an entirely separate anime on its own. You could have a whole anime about the Don Quixote family, crime family stuff.
Yeah, okay. I'll your stream. You can put your. Is it your favorite arc? I think you've said that before.
In totality, it's one of the most enjoyable to me. I mean, I don't think it's the most. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's one of the most concise arcs. like in the future, there's an arc we'll get to. Like there's an arc that recently, ended. That I think is like it's good for the reasons that like any lobby was good. It's just very concise. So much happened so fast. Dressrosa wasn't like that. There was so many tangents. I get that. We got the Rebecca storyline. We got the Doflamingo storyline. We got the freaking Law storyline, and it's all this stuff where like then the Corazon stuff is separated with the Marines and stuff. I get it. It was just so fun to me, and I don't think an arc has to be a 10 out of 10 to be your favorite. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's completely fair. Yeah.
But yeah. So let's see. Zou. Try to you can do Zou right quick if you want to wrap it. That one's not too long, so you should be able to end it pretty quick.
Yeah. Zou is a bloody short arc. But it does have one. I'd argue probably the best. Is it the best? Arguably. At least up there, top 3 best post-time skip moments, which is Riser is safe, which as a twist on its own is incredible. Like because we've seen the minks, fight for days and life, risking their lives, and then the reveal that no, they were doing it for the sake of Rizo is great. It's a very powerful arc, but there's not too much to it. It's a very big exposition arc for a lot of things, and it sets up a lot of the Wano storyline. But I wouldn't give it any more than...
It was a very good like booster arc. It was like, hey, let's stop here. Here's a couple more things that make the next arc better. And also here's some cool shit that it makes the past more interesting.
Yeah, and the climb up Zunisha's leg was a pretty fun sequence as well.
Yeah, I know. Did you see that where Oda just retconned how tall Zunisha is?
Yeah.
That's funny. But I mean, it makes sense though, because at first it was like 30,000 meters or something like that.
Yeah, it's insane.
Which didn't even make sense. It was like past Skypiea. Real quick, Danger Ross said he would have chose Blackbeard's devil fruit. The thing is, I like to think about devil fruit, just how useful that'd be. Like as a YouTuber and a person who lives a life here, I think of it two ways. What fruit would I choose in One Piece, and what fruit would I choose right now? And right now, I couldn't do much with a black hole devil fruit.
Yeah, a lot of the combat, like aiming devil fruits, are pretty useless in real life.
The magma fruit, what the fuck?
Yeah, what you can do with the magma fruit in real life? Or the poison fruit, like
blocks poison, exactly. You be like assassin, I guess. Blocks fruit, but I don't want to poop all the time, so that sounds terrible. Blocks fruit said that the mochi fruit. That's a good choice. It's very versatile.
That's a really good choice.
You know who's is underrated? A devil fruit that's underrated is the candy fruit. He was very versatile with that.
Or for real life, Struzen's, where he can turn inanimate objects into food. That's like in real life. That's just a really useful ability. Or sugars, because then you're eternally young. As long as you eat it when you're, in your prime, eat it then you stay young forever.
Somebody else said they didn't even really like Zou. Where would you put Zou? I liked it. So just honestly, where would you put it?
If it wasn't for the Rizo moment, I'd probably put it like B. But for me, the Rizo moment easily puts it into A, because I think that's such a great moment. But if you want to put it in B, I think that's fair. But I would A or B for me, whichever you feel is more fitting for you.
Let's see. So you said B or what?
B or A for me.
I'm going to put it B, just because there's so many good ones in A. Let's see. Sorry, excuse me. You know what's cool about streaming is I learned it's sometimes like right now I'm fine, but when I was in the video by myself, it's all of me talking. I see people do like 8-hour streams sometimes, so I'm like, I'm gonna do that, no problem. But an hour and a half in, my throat's dry a little bit, and I just think it's interesting because it is like I learned like, oh, okay, this is like it's a thing. I don't know, it's just cool.
You need a very active chat if you want to do like really long streams, because you need inputs to just keep conversation going, basically, I find.
It keeps it fun. If it wasn't for chat, stream would not be as fun. I like talking about One Piece. I like reading One Piece, but I can read One Piece in my own time. But seeing chat give like say things, give ideas, sometimes I agree, sometimes I don't agree. It definitely makes it like a whole nother thing, and I really enjoy it. What do you think about Whole Cake Island?
I love Whole Cake.
Me too.
My favorite post-time skip arc by quite a bit. Probably top 3 arcs in One Piece for me. Yeah, I love so much about Whole Cake.
What would you put
Sanji? I'd put in Goda.
And now explain why. I might move it, guys, but I'm gonna put it here just for now. Explain why.
It has probably it basically the start of the arc with the meandering woods is like pre-time skip where it's just a fun adventure with the Straw Hats just doing stuff. It has Katakuri versus Luffy, which is one of the best fights in the series. The Sanji development is incredible. It's one of the few times Brook actually gets development. It's one of the few times Chopper gets development, because Chopper never gets development.
What happened with Chopper that you felt like made him grow?
Well, Chopper was like Chopper has basically Chopper stepping up and basically not being the kid of the crew anymore because he was the mentor for the Carrots. Him stepping up as a mentor, him being the strategist for the crew because he did all the mirror world stuff for them. The fact that the arc ends not with a fight but with Sanji using his cooking to feed Big Mom is just he's easily got the best writing.
There's so many parts in Whole Cake that all come together. It's kind of like we talked about Dressrosa, except the end is more like it was like 10 different lanes and it just went boom. You know, Brooke standout moments, Sony standout moments. Not even just to mention that. It was a step back. I like the Nami slap. It was dope. So, but I would also think it's God tier or Goda tier or Goat tier, however you want to say it. And the main reason is because I see a lot of people who just like have recency bias and they just don't care. I see them like crap on Whole Cake and I just don't get it. It's so fun. Yeah, so many fruits. It took that evil Disney shit I mentioned earlier to the next level.
Yeah, and Big Mom is unlike Wano. Big Mom is intimidating, and Big Mom is really cool.
Yeah,
it's not really big cool. Meme like in Wano, but like in Whole Cake, she is. And obviously, we got the moment of Jinbei shoving his sake cup down in front of Big Mom and saying, "I'm leaving the crew and I'm joining." It does retroactively become pretty. The ending of Whole Cake retroactively is pretty bad, only because it gets teased that like, what's Jinbei gonna do? And then he just. And like Oda makes a big deal of it, and then he just rocks up to Wano and like, we just escaped, and it's just kind of like,
I know.
There's the amount of theories about that before.
I feel bad. No, I don't feel bad for Oda because again, it's
his story. He set that up.
Yeah, he set it up. But I think what happens is like. He's one of those people. I heard him. I didn't hear him, but like I met him. He said if he thinks of a character or anything in One Piece, he has to put it in. Like he doesn't want to wait for another anime. And and
that's the issue. That's why Post Time Skip's just full of nonsense. It doesn't need to be there.
You know how I said I'll make a video and then I feel bad when I leave something out. He doesn't want One Piece to end, and he was like, "Fuck, I should have did that." But okay, I'm gonna go to the next one because, like I said,
9 Scabbards instead of 3 Scabbards is diabolical. That he added 6 more for no reason.
That's so many more.
It's the same with the you know at the beginning of Wano where Marco sends a letter to Luffy, and it's a big mystery.
Yeah.
And then we find out the letter says late, like half through Wano, it's saying, "I'm not going to be to Wano until a bit later. I'm just coming later." Yeah. That was the big mystery that Oda was like teeing up. It's just he'll do a mystery for the sake of it, and it'll be just not rewarding.
But you know what it makes me feel like though? I think Oda really is in love with his own story. There's like,
definitely.
There's so many
manga artists.
Yeah, there's so many manga artists that honestly, like, they fall in love with it. I think that happens a lot. The JoJo guy said that he didn't, but he said that the reason he tells his story like he does is because he doesn't want to get bored with the same characters.
Yeah, he's
I think I read that Oda literally like when in his free time he's still talking about One Piece.
Yeah,
like he loves that shit.
Yeah. And it's not always to the betterment of the story.
Yeah,
and I think the next arc is a great example of that.
It is.
This could be my most controversial take of the stream. Because we're talking about Wano now.
I'm kind of nervous about it because I like a lot of post-time skip One Piece. I just think if you give Oda some grace, and I think he's really good at tying it back in later on. Like sometimes he'll do something that's controversial, but then he'll eventually tie that back into like where it makes sense. He like fixes it in the future. Mm-hmm. Oh, what's up? Hey, what's up? I see BDA Lost in the chat. So shout out. I see that. I watch your videos too. So Danger Ross, I think he called you out about something. Blocks Fruit said, "You cooked, buddy." That's funny. Somebody else said they didn't like Whole Cake just because of Sanji's facial hair. All right, so you said the next arc. I don't think you mean the next arc. The next one's the Reverie.
Oh yeah, we have Reverie. Oh no, I love Reverie. I've got no ill graces to Reverie. I got ill graces to the big arc after that. Then.
So I personally would like, because the Reverie gave us a lot of again, Oda is really good at doing this thing where these in between arcs reset up stuff again, and Reverie gave us so many answers. So many people came together we've never seen meet, right? We get to see. Is that what we get to see? Lucci again, like
Yep.
what he's doing again. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Where would you put that? Also, is that where the Sabo stuff starts happening?
Which Sabo?
It's like Sabo and the Revolutionary Army are trying to.
That's when they first infiltrate to save Kuma. But it's not. But we don't see the whole Gorosei stuff till after Wano. So we see like we see the start basically of it, but we don't see all of the revolutionary stuff there. We just see glimpses of it.
Yeah, I think that's cool. Like I said, that's my favorite thing about One Piece is setting up and then delivering, and I think that's what he's really good at. So where would you put the Reverie though? I think it kind of falls with the whole like where did it go? The whole Whiskey Peak kind of stuff. The whole like the in between arcs that really kind of just add to the world building, give us some answers. Of course, it's Oda, so he creates more questions, and then you get to see it pay off later. So I'm thinking A or B.
Yeah, I think A's fine. Yeah.
Let's see. All right, Wano Country. I'm gonna give you the floor. All right, guys. So if you're watching right now, he has some strong opinions on Wano. I just want to see what they are, how they contrast to my own. Because I got pretty good opinions on it and some critiques. But the floor is yours. This is your time to get off your chest.
Wano. I don't want to say Wano's awful. I still think Wano's a good arc. Wano just personifies every issue I have with post time skip to like the greatest extent. It's got way too many bloody characters that are just there's just no need for it all. The 9 scabbards because it's not even like Oda wanted 3 scabbards and then he just made 9 of them because he liked making designs. We don't need all this stuff. None of the Straw Hats get any meaningful development. Like they just don't. Robin gets a little bit. Sanji gets a little bit, but the amounts they get compared to like an Enies Lobby or an Alabasta or any of these big arcs is ridiculous. Considering Whole Cake actually gives proper like development and screen time to the Straw Hats, is great. This arc gives none to it. If anything, it gives reverse things because I would argue Zoro's development in this arc takes his character and shifts it backwards. I think the King fight development is just bad and it doesn't move Zoro's character forwards in anything way. I think the stakes in the arc are terrible. Luffy's speech at the beginning,
oh my God.
Like compare that to Enies Lobby. Enies Lobby, it's an incredible speech. Beginning of bloody Wano, he's going, let's throw a big party when we win. There's no stakes in the goddamn arc.
Well, there
the
are
kind of
stakes.
fight's good.
I mean, the stakes of like Luffy getting like smashed up, that was kind of crazy.
The stakes are non-existent because there's like 6 times in the arc where just the random samurai go, I can't wait to win this. I can't wait to party afterwards. The Straw Hats don't even see when Luffy gets defeated. Yeah. Even though Kaido's going on the whole arc about how you've got to show the men the
but
defeated leader.
They can feel it because there's different ways to see in One Piece. All the stronger people can feel his presence like disappear.
Yeah, but like the Kaido keeps going on about you've got to take the head of the leader and show it to the people. Yeah. And instead of doing that, he just knocks him off the thing for no reason. The Toby Robo fights are just short and none of them have actual like there's the King and Queen fights have actual like storytelling to them. The other Straw Hat fights don't have that at all. Like Frankie and Sasaki, there's literally no storytelling to that fight apart from it being a cool fight.
Remember what I said earlier about Oda fixing stuff in the future? Technically, based on some revelations about Queen we're getting right now, maybe that's
an even bigger issue. This shouldn't be in a Vivre card. This should be in the goddamn story. Zoro's lineage, if it's relevant, shouldn't be in a Vivre card. It should be in the actual goddamn story.
Oh my God. Okay.
Zoro should have had actual development in this arc, not some weird thing about he has to risk his life, even though that's what he always does anyway. Gear 5's cool. I like Gear 5.
Gear 5. Oh yeah, I mean obviously that's one of the as a weekly reader. I mean, Gear 5 changed everything. Not for me, but for the community. I just remember the entire world was now aware of One Piece. I mean, that single-handedly, the reactions, the people was walking up to me at like a previous job I had and was like, yo, that One Piece looks crazy now. What's going on? Like who had never seen One Piece. Let me read some chats right quick.
And just one more thing. Yamato is such a pointless ass character that shows up randomly halfway through an arc.
Is he cooking or not cooking? Is he cooking or is this bad takes? I need to know.
Yamato just shows up out of nowhere, steals all the screen time, is the one fighting Zoro should have been stalling Kaido, not goddamn Yamato.
Do you
and
see
she
that?
doesn't.
Do you see
She's a
that
giant
character
gag
design?
character. She's a gag character with no meaningful development, and people want to join the Straw Hats. It's
Do you see that character design?
cannot
Is he supposed to have that and not put it on the screen?
that's the if Yamato was just a guy, no one would like them. It's the pure design that people like the character.
All right.
That's my big Wallow rant. Sorry, but there's so much about this arc I cannot stand.
You're cutting my heart right now. So let me get structured. Okay, we got Danger Rod said it's just hard to take him seriously after Goose Works keep calling him and posting weird pictures of him. Oh wait, who's that? Oh, they're talking about something else. They're having their own conversation. BDA Law says Reverie in real time looks better because we got more information after it was over. So that's something me and him discussed at the beginning of the stream. Are we ranking these arcs based on like reading them from A to Z, or are we ranking them retroactively about that stuff that happens in the future? Because all the arcs like Skypiea, even Thriller Bark, the Reverie, like so many of them, like once you find out more stuff, it makes past parts better. I mean, the Kuma reveal basically reconstructed his whole entire arc. You know, like his backstory made so many arcs better, really, because to me, I mean, some people might feel like it didn't, but I appreciate it because it makes me feel like Oda leaves enough room in his characters and moments where he can kind of fix the more nuanced arcs and takes. Real quick, Danger I said Wano is like 200 episodes. That is my worst fear for that arc. Oh, because he's about to start it. All right, so I'm gonna reply to some of the stuff you said, Big Dog. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Rebuke me. I'm happy for a discourse here.
Okay. The Wano arc, I feel like suffered from buildup. Okay, because remember how so we mentioned this twice already. All right, so Sabaody got flack, not Sabaody, Fishman Island Arc got flack because it was coming off time skip, right? People wanted some more Marineford. And then Thriller Bark got slack because of, it would come off other stuff. Wano was built up from how long?
Thriller Bark.
Thriller Bark. So all the way back in Thriller Bark, we're here about Wano. I was part of the community. I remember people being like, "Oh, it's gonna, what's that?" And then we find out it's probably gonna be like samurais. And then one of the top 3 highest rated characters is Zoro. Everybody's looking forward to Zoro's arc. Everybody just wants to see, like, we got whole cake for Sanji. Wait till we get to Zoro's. So now we got the Zoro fans going nuts. Okay, it's so hype, and I'm scared for Elbaf for that exact reason, by the way. But anyway, we get to Wano, an amazing introduction. That introduction was cool with the Zoro is about to get like killed or whatever, you know what I'm talking about? And he pulls out that sword and then like, I forgot what it's called, but he actually murks more people. I talked about that in my Zoro victim video where like he murdered like 7 of the samurais, 8 samurais there. So that was really cool. The only part I feel like, I kind of see what you're saying is it kept getting really hype and then not hype and then hype and not hype. So it's kind of a roller coaster because you would get these really intense moments of like Luffy getting messed up or like, these other fights and stuff. And then it slows down in the prison. But I like that kind of stuff. The prison stuff was cool because it was like it was the first time Luffy got chained up. So now he had to like go back to his physical training. And one of the things that makes Kuzan so powerful right now, I talk about it in my video coming out, is Garp made him train basically without using haki and without using like devil fruit powers. Luffy doesn't have to do that much. You know what I'm saying? And if you notice, Luffy did put on some muscle. So I thought it was cool. They took some steps back there. They might have got, they may have been too many characters, but I know a lot of people who have different favorite characters in Wano. Like some of the reactions I've watched, I think it was like, I watched like Murphy and she said the 9 was her favorite part of the entire arc. You know what I'm saying? So basically you're saying you feel like there was too much going on, or he just didn't.
The raid I agree. Everything up to the raid I think is fine. I mean, that's all fine. I think the raid is the absolute travesty of the arc. The final conflict is just horrendous. But all the stuff about build up to it, I think is fine. But Zoro has actual development leading up to it. And then it goes out the window completely.
We also got Sanji. Ironically, Sanji got a bunch of... You said character development. Sanji got a bunch of character development. Sanji got a huge amount of character development in there because he finally realized, because at first he's like, yo, don't call me, Vin Smoke. I want that smoke type shit. By the end of the arc, though, he was really on some like, I really don't even care. I'm Big Sanji. He crushes the suit, which I was mad about because I wanted him to use the raid suit. But as far as, dealing with trauma goes, that was a big moment. Crushing the suit.
As I said, I think the Queen and King fight do have development.
Yeah.
The King fight, I think, is bad development. The Queen fight is fine. It's not. It's compare that to his development in Enies Lobby, and it's just night and day. Which is better. It's weird because Zoro in the beginning arcs is just set up about him becoming a leader, him avenging Yasue, and then his actual arc in the fight is I've got to fight harder without thinking, and use more haki.
Okay.
Zoro should have either led the Straw Hats when they thought Luffy was defeated, or he should have been the one stalling Kaido instead of Yamato. Hard, yeah. Yamato shouldn't have been up there stalling Kaido because she's a character no one cares about. Zoro should have been doing that because Zoro's an actual character we care about.
Well, Yamato's a character we might not should have cared about, but people like her.
But Yamato has they have no development. They start the arc the same as they end the arc. They're just delusional and think they're Odin.
Yeah, they are. Yamato was good because it was like Kado by product of being Kado. It's almost like Garp raising his own enemies. You get what I'm saying?
And the issue is,
and they're from the same generation.
We don't get any of that though. We don't see any of it really. Barto, she's just Barto again, but worse. She's a worse version of Barto.
All right, I agree, but I don't agree with Zoro didn't have any character development because.
He did have development. It's just bad development, and it just goes against
I'm talking about
the early parts of the arc set up. Zoro.
I think the only thing. Oh, okay. The one thing that may have made Wano better is all that information we got about Zoro's family should have been in the arc.
Yeah, should have been the story, or don't big it up to be important because it isn't important to begin with. It doesn't really matter that he's related to Ryuma. Yeah. It has no impact on him as a character, so I don't get the point of bigging it up. He should have grown as a leader. That's what was set up at the beginning. Or he should have, killed Orochi, the character he said he wanted to go fight.
Yeah. Remember ZKK? I don't know if you was tapped into the ZKK.
That was one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
It's Zoro's arc though. I mean, because I can defend it a little bit. Remember, I said at the very beginning, Zoro was the first guy. Zoro beat the first bad guy in One Piece. Remember, like he beat Axe-Hand Morgan, so Oda can do it in a way that makes sense. Now, this doesn't really make sense, but Oda could have did something where like Zoro is the one that whatever, blah blah blah, all the theories beats Kaido, and then Luffy has to be whatever other big bad if there was another one, or maybe it gets set up to train more or something. I'm not sure, but I just know that there was a way that could have been, or they did a joint attack or something, because Oda likes to do this thing, and he kind of did it with Kaido. Oda likes to do this thing where Luffy beats the big bad guy, but it wasn't like he's stronger than them now. You know what I mean? Like everybody knows, like if the day after Kaido fell, if you reset their health, it's not like Luffy would have just dog walked Kaido.
No, it would have been really, really close, yeah.
So I don't know if Luffy could have turned into like some kind of Looney Tune character and like put like a Looney Tune trap, and then Zoro could have took his head off or something.
No, Luffy had to be Kaido's. I didn't think. It's the thing. Like I'm glad that I was like, I bet money with someone on two things. Zoro obviously wouldn't kill Kaido, and Yamato obviously wouldn't join the crew. And luckily, I got 20 quid out of that because I was so certain that both of those things would happen. But that's another thing. Why the hell does Big Mom lose to Kid and Law? The characters who have no interaction with her whatsoever. That is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
But that's just what happens. That's just what happens in war sometimes.
Yeah, but like Big Mom's built up so much in Whole Cake. Like her rivalry with Luffy and her being an important character, then her writing goes completely out the wall. Yeah. And they don't even beat her. TNT beats her. She's fully conscious, but she's falling out.
They was putting in work though. I mean, especially
they did put in work, but they shouldn't be beating a Yonko because they're not that strong.
That really started a lot of the kid
Law
hate
can't use ornaments. Remember that?
Yeah, here we go.
Law can't use ornaments somehow.
A lot of the kid
I just don't get that.
A lot of the kid hate really came from like his attacks. They felt like it didn't do enough damage, but it's against Big Mom. And Law is basically, like you said earlier, like a second main character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but the issue, I wouldn't mind them beating Big Mom if there was any writing, and there's just no writing. They don't interact with Big Mom really before this even happens. There's no build up to them fighting her. They just fight her because she's there. You basically take a Yonko and boil them down to giving them to bloody Kid and Law. I swear, if in the final war, like Garland goes down to Kid and Law, I'm quitting the series.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, I mean, really though, I think one thing that happened with Oda, and again, this is something his own fault, I guess, suffering from success. During the Wano, he had the film Red, right? And the live action was both under somewhat type of production.
Yeah.
So like he even said like he wanted to do more, but he needed to wrap it up because he had all that other stuff going on, and he had to get to the Egghead. So it was just like that's why he put a lot of it in the Beaver cards and stuff.
It's the issue because it's like Wano has probably the highest expectations of any arc minus Marineford. But Marineford delivered. Marineford proves you can massively big an arc up and it delivers. Whereas Wano just didn't. I don't know.
Where would you rank it though? Like out of all these, let me pull this back up. First of all, remember though, Zoro also fought Killer before we knew he was Killer. That was a cool fight.
It was a cool fight. I agree.
Also,
Killer weirdly has somewhat good development, which is I will praise Wano for that. I think it does develop.
What about the whole smile stuff? The industry it added onto the Jokers like in the
Chopper not curing that by the end of the series is just weird. Like, I'm not saying as a criticism, it's just bizarre that doesn't happen. They just leave them like that. They just leave them.
His answer. He's thought about this. Okay.
It's just funny.
There's some more Wano high moments though. I'm not saying it's my favorite.
I think Wano has good moments. I still like Wano a lot. It's just it has so much fundamentally wrong with it that I just it just doesn't feel like a One Piece arc.
All the mink stuff. And this is something I was going to tell you earlier, and I told the chat earlier. Wano did something too where they took it out of the anime, but when you first see Wano, there's some panels and stuff of like people like they're a woman's gonna hang herself and kill her baby.
Yeah, the woman's just stabbing her baby.
She's gonna stab her baby.
That's why I say early Wano is good. I like early Wano. It just doesn't deliver on any of the anything it sets up. What about the bit? Well, Usopp's got loads of weird setup at the beginning about if I get captured, I'll spill. And it happens like 3 times, so it's like obviously the theorizing at the beginning of Wano was a Straw Hat will get kidnapped, and it just goes nowhere. Or Kaido's victory laugh that gets hyped up a few times that we never see.
I'll say this: I think Wano is going to be another one of those ones like the Reverie, that we talked about earlier.
But people like Wano generally, annoyingly.
And the reason is because when Luffy's dream gets revealed, there's lots of theories about it. I would not be surprised though if it didn't have something to do with like food or everybody eats.
I'd be surprised if it didn't have something to do with
a party, food. Whatever it is, something to do with like everybody gets food. And I think when that happens, Wano spending countless hours focusing on like Luffy beating up people because they spill beans, Sanji cooking food for people and they get mad because people mess it up. There's just so many parts in it where food is important. What's the name? Otama being hungry. Yeah. The people are killing themselves because they don't have food. Literally, that's the whole point. Like all of that, I think, is going to make more sense in the future.
But it should still be relevant to Wano's storytelling. It doesn't matter if in retrospective it's good because it still makes Wano a bad arc.
Look, you know this. You've been consuming One Piece for a long time. You know that when you read or watch One Piece, you got to be willing to start a plot line and then get it finished 30 years later. Okay? That's part of the contract you signed.
I don't know. There's no arc like Wano in One Piece. Even the bad arcs are not like Wano just is so weirdly written. There's no stakes to it. It's just bizarre. Yeah. Like no other One Piece arc's written like Wano is. There's no arc where the Straw Hats go into a battle expecting to win. That's just not how it's written. It's all about going in and against adversity.
Well, a lot of the minor characters got cool moments. Like in the Brit video, we talked about a lot of the cool moments he had, like at the end during the raid. And Sanji, you gotta talk about Sanji did have development, but Sanji calling from Robin, that's more development.
Yeah,
in the raid,
it is development, but you compare it to like Enies Lobby or Alabasta, and it's just nothing compared to that. They have long fights that the whole fight is just is character development for them. And then now if we're satisfied with a Straw Hat getting 2 cool moments per arc, they should be our main characters. We should be getting developed. That's the issue with Post-Enies.
Okay, this is the last thing I'll say. I'll say this too. You are right. There is just too many characters to give everybody a satisfying ending. He did well with what he had, even though he created what he had. But but we needed these other characters to have some kind of development because they're gonna come back around during the final war.
I have any Onibanchi are coming back anytime soon.
Oh, yeah.
They wasted a lot of screen time doing nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Where did you rank it? What do you rank it? And everybody in the chat, you gotta let us know. What do you rank Wano? Because I'm gonna let you go first though. What do you rank it?
Can you pull a tier list up? I need to see where the other arcs we've placed are.
All right, quick recap. We got Syrup Village C. B is Loguetown, Orangetown, Reverie, Long Ring, Longland, Amazon Lily, Punk Characters, Zou. A is Romance Dawn, Whiskey Peak, Little Garden, Drum Island, Jaya, Post-Enies Lobby, Thriller Bark, Post-War Arc, Fishman Island, The Reverie. And then S tier, Baratie, Arc, Alabasta, Skypiea, Sabaody Archipelago, Impel Down, Road to Sabaody, and Dressrosa. And then God tier, Goated tier, Goat tier is Water 7, Enies Lobby, Marineford, Whole Cake Island. I'll put it back. Sorry.
I know. Like, we're not ranking within the tiers. Obviously, they're just in order. But like, if I was comparing it to the arcs, it would be A tier, but like right at the bottom. It'd be. I think it's worse than every other arc in A tier at the moment, but I think it's better than the B tier arcs.
I could try to add a row below and do like a.
What?
You said it was an A minus.
But yeah, I would put it below all the stuff in A, but I would put it above all the stuff in B.
I'm gonna do B plus. That sounds better.
But yo, this is a Wano hater.
That's funny, because I mean, I kind of get everything people say and the stuff you say about Wano. I think for me is I'm very good about like, I'm very good about thinking of the highlights, and sometimes when I reread it or rewatch it, I might catch some of those like nuances. But again. Also, I read it weekly. Like, binging it is different because when you read weekly, it's like, I remember how insane the payoff was for Gear 5 and stuff like that.
I remember weekly how bad the stakes were. No, what I will say about Wano is it depends what you like out of One Piece. If you like cool fights and cool epic moments, I think Wano's great. If you like One Piece for its character writing, then you won't like Wano because there's no the character writing's not as good. That's why I fundamentally disagree because the Straw Hats don't get good writing.
A lot of people didn't like Kaido's like character writing, but I did. I thought it was dope. Oh, because Kaido's let me say this. I think this is important why Wano's great. I love the whole like faux joy boy out of Kaido. You know what I'm saying? That whole guardian of the title, the whole I wish I was, and King really believing in him, and all this stuff is dope. What'd you say?
And it's exactly because we don't get any focus. His flashback is a couple panels as he gets to. Kaido deserved the flashback arc. I don't get why he didn't get one. Kaido is a bit like Kids, where there's a really interesting character under there, but there's just no writing around it to actually explore what makes them cool. It's like when in the anime where we got Shanks versus Kid, the anime added a filler scene with Killer talking to Kid, and it's so cool, and it adds so much to Kid's character. It's obviously not canon, so you can't use it as a plus for
One
Kids.
Piece has like the best fillers, if you ask me. My favorite is that
there's no moments for these two characters. So Kid and Kaido just don't get explored. I'm sure they're amazing characters under there, but like just doesn't give them any panel time.
But that's one of the things we talked about where One Piece is so real and so breathing is you can assume a lot's going on with characters without seeing it. You get what I'm saying? But
then it's just a lot of headcanon at that point rather than like actual writing.
Oh God.
Like Doflamingo shouldn't be getting better, more nuanced writing than Kaido when Doflamingo's like a mini arc boss and Kaido's meant to be the big final boss.
We're not going to disremake Big Dofi, okay?
No. Dofi's great, but Dofi shouldn't be getting more development than Kaido when Kaido's the bigger boss of the whole saga. Kaido should be getting all the development.
Well, technically, Doflamingo's character development falls under Kaido's. Because if somebody like Kaido, can make somebody like Dofi serve under him, what does that say about Kaido? I get what you're saying.
But Dofi gets like a whole flashback arc. Kaido gets like 7 panels.
But Doflamingo, but to be fair, Doflamingo's ties into laws.
And there's the problem. Yeah, but you could.
You know what it is? You know what it is? I don't want to put you on blast.
Does that mean Doflamingo is two flashback arcs if we count the law stuff?
I think you hate law, and by proxy, you don't like some of this other people's stuff.
Nah, Kaido has nothing to do with law. They don't even. They hardly interact.
Yeah, I know.
But Doflamingo's kind of development is what Kaido should get. Kaido, I had such high. I think for me, for Wano, I had such high expectations for Kaido as an antagonist. Like, I was fully prepared to say he's the best antagonist in One Piece, and then he just didn't. He just didn't get any.
Honestly, I did a poll on this too. It's funny you said that. I did a poll like 2 months ago that said, "Did Kaido live up to the hype?" And I think it depends on what you're looking for. What I wanted out of Kaido was to be the ultimate roadblock for Luffy, because that's what I've seen him as. And I did feel like he was, even after he was gone, because he did it holding up all the stamina he lost, holding up the skull, all the Onigashima, all the fights he went through. He got jumped like fucking 20 times. Bro got jumped over and over by all the people that are like main characters. He got jumped by all the alliances with the Straw Hats. He got jumped by all the Skybirds. He got jumped by, he really was out there, and the whole time really was not even trying. I mean, he was trying, and then he literally didn't even start trying. Any Merc buddy, that was cool. When that one guy, I remember reading that weekly, when that one guy ruined his spot, like that happened with Odin.
His name Guernica, something like that.
Yeah. So to me, he did his job. I remember thinking like
he just wasn't good at getting bodies because he cannot kill anyone in that arc. Everyone survived.
He killed Buddy. Did Buddy? Did he not die?
No, he does die, but ages afterwards. He reports back to the world government and dies of his wounds like a day later.
Yeah, but we're in Enfield though, where it's like people are resilient. You know what I mean?
Kinemon should have died.
Let me roll up my cope, okay? I gotta, because I think Wano's important and I think it's fun, but I do think everything you said, it's not hate. It really does sound like it's.
I say this because I love One Piece so much, exactly. And I want Wano to be good. And
if Oda,
why did he write 2 death scenes for Kinemon and Ina and Akiku, which are like some of the best written death scenes of the series, and then both of them survive anyway?
I'm not gonna be
and then Izo just dies, and Ashura dies off screen.
But Izo was the GOAT though, bro. I love Izo.
Yeah, but why did Ashura die off screen? We didn't even know he died till the end of the arc. We just assumed he survived, and he just gets revealed to have died. Why can Okiku have died instead? Because they actually had a death scene.
Well, once I contact Oda, I'll let you know, and I'll see. I'm sure it was something clever.
Wano from an action standpoint, and she's Kaido's a roadblock is really well done.
That was when the animation took a huge jump too.
If you watch anime. I think action-wise, Wano's amazing. I think its action is incredible. But I don't look for One Piece. I don't look for One Piece for its fights and its action personally. It's not what I'm in the series for. I don't think. Yeah, so it's a difference in what we value in a One Piece arc, basically.
Also, there's some stuff, like I said, that might make sense later, like the Zoro seeing death scene, or whatever that was.
Oh yeah, that's just weird. I was so expecting it just to be Brook, and just be a comedy moment.
Funny. That would have been funny. That'd have been like pre-time skip stuff.
Yeah, but it's just like.
Well, I put it at B+. I think that's fair because I know some people. It's like Dressrosa. Some people love it. Some people find a lot of problems with it. I think, and I'll say this too, because we only got 2 more. Well, technically 1 more, and then I have a question about the last one, but. Yeah. I do hope, I believe in Oda, and I know he loves One Piece. I do hope his newfound success. One time Oda said that he knows that Naruto is bigger worldwide. And then Kishimoto said he knows that Oda is sold way more copies. Like, they're both aware of those things.
Yeah.
Oda always wanted to reach a Western audience. He always did. He's a fan of, like, Terminator, and he's a fan of, like, Disney cartoons. Like, it's always been a part of his dream. With the Netflix and with these new movies coming out, and just he's in another stratosphere than he was 5-10 years ago. And I really hope that he like finishes strong. I need that for my life to be complete. I've been watching this series and reading this series longer than half of my friends.
I really think it will. It's because like Oda, if Egghead's taught us, I know we're going on it in a minute, but if Egghead has taught me anything, Oda does have really good plans for his early characters, like his side characters that are set up. So I'm sure all the Straw Hats will have incredible ends to their characters, and I'm sure all of it's like woven into the final arc. So I think the final arc will be incredible. I just think it's him trying to get there, if that makes sense. But I think the ending will just be amazing because I have a lot of faith in him as a writer for stuff like that.
Oh, me too. I think that's where he does the best. It's just like the stuff that he had figured out when he started the series.
Yeah,
a lot of the stuff in the middle is stuff that it's all wrapped around the major overarching plot. But but I do believe what you said. We're getting to the point where we're wrapping back around to like the Skypiea stuff.
The characters we already know.
Stuff he had planned from the beginning. All right, real quick.
Whereas like
Egghead, you said you already brung it up. Where would you rank it and why? Because I have a theory about it too.
Egghead, I do really enjoy. Egghead's weird because Egghead is another example of the things I despise about post-time skip, in that the Straw Hats get literally no screen time or anything, any development, but it's still it's the ultimate example of how amazing Oda can write side characters, because that's probably the best side character writing in the series.
Yeah.
But then the Straw Hats get literally nothing. But that said, we're going to Elbaf, which I'm sure will be a very Straw Hat focused arc, so I'm happy to excuse that.
Would you put Egghead at S? Because I
put it S tier.
I put it S tier.
I think the ending's a little messy.
That's the only reason I didn't put Goat, or God.
And then there's the Zoro stuff with Lucci, which is just so funny.
I thought it was dope because I thought it mirrored a lot of early One Piece. I thought that it answered so many things that was like people are so like ungrateful these days, because it's like we've been watching it so long. It's hard to appreciate when we get like little tidbits of Lord Bomb compared to other arcs. Egghead was a lore just like glaze, it was just like nonstop lore dumps. And not to mention, it's still, it's Oda. So of course it's still like, he brought up some more questions, but I thought it was dope. And the futuristic flip on the Wano was dope. I also really liked, seeing Luffy still human, how he felt about that. I don't want to spoil anything for somebody who's not caught up, but there's stuff that happens that makes Luffy human again. He reset Zoro being like a badass, not being empathetic. And I don't know. I thought it was cool. So it was an S tier. What I wanted to do at the end of it, though, I know we just got there, but I wanted to see if we can do some future guessing, some theorizing. Where do you think Elbaf's going to land when it's finished?
Based on what we've seen so far from the few chapters we've seen, it has restored my faith a lot in Oda. Only because these first two chapters feel pre-time skip. It's an extended sequence of the Straw Hats just having a fun adventure. No hard take. So that's given me a lot of faith. Usopp, I'm sure, will have an incredible storyline. Shanks is likely going to be involved, and Shanks is obviously, as we said, a planned character, so he's probably got a really good storyline involved. I think it's going to be S tier at the least, could be Goda. It really depends how big the arc. I don't know, is it going to be a small arc or is it going to be a big arc? Because we thought Egghead was going to be a small, like Zou style arc, and it obviously was not. So Elbaf could genuinely be that. Arc. It's the third longest arc in One Piece.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh my god! No way.
It's so long. It's like the third or fourth, something like that. It's one of the longest arcs in all of One Piece. It's insane. But we don't think.
I'm putting it.
Yeah,
I'm putting it. Goda. And I'll tell you why. I think this is really important. You touched on it a little bit. Oda, from the very beginning, when I'm rereading all of One Piece, and the notes, the editor notes I'm reading right now, are all about Vikings and stuff. He's just talking about his love for it from the very beginning. I mean, I'm talking about chapter 1. He's talking about it, or chapter 2 or something like that. That makes me feel like I said, the main line of One Piece has never fell off. It's always been solid. There's ups and downs kind of a little bit in the side stuff. Elbaf, to me, either Elbaf or whatever happens after Elbaf, feels like the payoff for every single thing we've had up to here. It feels like he's always wanted to do this. He's always wanted to come to the Viking place. He's always wanted to have giants involved in his stories. We get giants as early as Little Garden. There's no way he's already going so hard at the beginning. There is no way he would let Elbaf be a average arc. He just could not do it. I mean, there's so many theories he could literally prove wrong. That'd be funny because like every chapter disproves like 50 theories that's been going on for 10 years.
Because it's because some people have explained for the arc, but like one of the weird ones is the Davy back fight. People are so certain it's going to happen. So it'd be really funny if it doesn't happen. But what I'm most curious about Elbaf is this is going to be our first taste of Oda taking a Straw Hat and finishing their development, or at least really getting to the finish line. Because Usopp becoming a brave warrior of the sea, I'm pretty sure it's going to happen this arc.
Yeah.
So if he does Usopp here, and Usopp's the writing is incredible, I think it just reassures us that all the Straw Hats going to have incredible endings.
I'm going to be honest. There's so many plot points that lead to Elbaf, that it could be a slam dunk. He very easily could answer like 4 things or tie up like 4 loose ends, and we'd consider it one of the best arcs ever.
Yeah, I'm just really excited for Usopp here. Usopp's one of the best Straw Hats, and I'm also excited to see what Shanks finally does. Could Crossguild show up? Could Blackbeard show up? There's so many we don't know. I'm really looking forward to Kid in this arc. I don't think he's dead. I think he is going to be important in this arc. I mean, remember, he was the one who defeated Big Mom, the biggest enemy of the Giants.
Yeah.
If anyone's going to hail Kid as a hero, it's going to be Elbaf. So them dragging him out of the water.
That would be insane. It'd be so crazy to give the Kid fans some payoff or some vindication.
I trust, because we know Oda has big plans for Kid. So I have trust that Kid's going to be a great character. I'm really hoping here. Honestly, I really want Kid to be great.
You know what's crazy is we get to find out if Kid's gonna go down like Gecko Moria or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is he one of those people that got his dreams crushed and he's out, or is he gonna say or is he gonna Luffy it? Is he gonna be like, all right, cool, I got some crew members died, my ship got fucked up, let's rush. Let's back to it. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of funny if it is a humbling moment for Kid. This is literally the 4th time it's happened to him. Like, he got humbled by Kaido twice. He got humbled by Big Mom, and now he's been he got humbled by Kaido. He got humbled by Shanks twice, and he's been humbled by Kaido. And only now is he getting the message. I know it's probably not going to happen at this point because we're so far in. But I've always loved the theory that Kid fought. The reason Kid had the magnet fruit symbolically was because he brings all the supernova together and makes a supernova crew. I don't think that's going to happen anymore, but that was a big theory in Wano. That's where his crew would get killed by Kaido, and that's what his new crew would be.
And then it did. I think it's kind of happened, but like it's too late to do the supernova.
Yeah,
I mean that's cool. I mean you could still do something with that. I mean Oda's talented enough. He seems important to me. I know he gets a lot of hate these days, but he feels like he's something to him. He's that guy who's like. I don't want to compare him to this at all, so nobody judge me. But you know, like in My Hero Academia, the reason that what's his name, Bakugo, whatever his name is, the reason Bakugo, the reason he tries so hard is it just seems like the Deku just is good at life. You know what I mean? And even though Deku feels like he sucks, he's always following this other guy. The Kid reminds me of that guy who's got to try like 15 times as hard and made it from the bottom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have a lot of it. As long as Kid doesn't end the story tag teaming Garling with bloody Law.
Oh my god, that'd be crazy. You have like PTSD.
That'll happen with no writing. They'll never meet. They'll show up and then they'll just take him out with TNT.
That's hilarious. I'm about to. So look, this is what I want everybody to do. This is the final one because I'm gonna watch a lot of this back and see what it is. Yeah. So this is the final one. I want y'all to let us know how you thought we did. 1 out of 10. Do you agree with it, or do you think we messed up somewhere?
Whoa. Why is Thriller Bark an A? I thought we said S for Thriller Bark.
All right, let me check.
Get that up a bit. We both love that arc. Get that animated.
Right.
Yeah, we call that.
I think it got.
I'd even go Goda for it, but like I think that's a bit of a stretch for Thriller. But...
Yeah, I think it's because whenever I minimize it, sometimes it might shuffle it. But I will say, just to recap, in case you just came in, we both love Thriller Bark. We think it's underrated. There's so many reasons we'd have time to cover because we already streamed for like a while and we have to some other stuff to do. But Thriller Bark is just so good. If you've listened to like the internet hype and you skipped over it, or the D hype, I guess I should say, you should go back and reread it, rewatch it. There's a lot of moments there that are nuanced that you miss. The humor, the foreshadowing, the devil fruits. Really, Perona gets tied into like the Zoro stuff and then the time skip stuff. It's just, trust me, there's so much stuff there you miss. So the one final read through right quick. Let us know what you think. 1 out of 10. How do we do as far as? I think it's the greatest tier list ever made. I think this is the most accurate, and I honestly think everybody else, every other YouTubers and stuff, need to restructure theirs to match ours. We figured it out. Okay, so Syrup Village C. That's the most controversial to me because I do like it, but compared to these other ones, it's hard not to put it in C. Oh, we got Zou, Punk Hazard, Amazon Lily, Long Ring Lowland, Reverse Mountain, Orange Town, Loguetown B. B+. We had to add that for it because Wano, super high highs, some low lows can be argued from some people.
Where would you have put it? Just out of curiosity, where would you personally put it?
I probably would put it A. because there's, I mean,
Okay, fair enough. Yeah,
because it's better than Romance Dawn and stuff. Like Romance Dawn is good because it's such a good setup. Like Romance Dawn is a
nah, it's got stakes. It's got proper stakes to it.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
What's the stakes compared to Wano?
Leafy getting kidnapped, and then like Leafy being held to gunpoint is better stakes than anything in Wano.
I don't think so, because we know in Ace's flashback he awakened Conqueror's Hockey at like 1 or however old he was. I'm being hyperbolic. So I think at the end of the day, Luffy would have like found a way, you know.
Nah, Leafy would have just died there.
He
couldn't. All he had, because what would he do? Because he can't swim. Like,
oh, that's true. Oh, yeah, that's true.
He would just drowned and died. Yeah. So yeah, I think A. Yes, fair for Wano.
So I would have put it A, but you make some good points. Like you said, it depends what you're looking for out of it.
I'm a certified hater of Wano, so yeah. Every chat, take my opinions with a grain of salt, because I am a certified hater.
100% certified Wano hater. That's such a great title / video. I don't know. Everything leads to video ideas. 1 second. Let's see. And it's funny because your passion for your dislike for it's real. That always makes a good video. Whenever people's glazing something just for the clout, I can tell sometimes. And when people are being hard on something because they want to be different, I can tell. But when you have actual good critiques, people respect it for sure. And you might get some haters, obviously, but you know, it's better to be honest. All right, so B tier we got a B plus. We got Wano. A is the Reverie, Fishman Island, Post-War Arc, Post-Enies Lobby, Jaya Arc, Drum Island, Little Garden, Whiskey Peak, Romance Dawn is A. S tier, the most underrated arc in One Piece, Thriller Bark, and then Egghead Arc, Dressrosa, Return to Sabaody, Impel Down, Sabaody Archipelago, Skypiea, Alabasta, Arc Park, Baratie, and then we got Water 7. That's S, by the way. Water 7, Enies Lobby, Marineford, Whole Cake, and Elbath. And that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. No other anime will ever do this, or manga will ever do this, where the god tier arcs are like every few arcs. You know what I mean? Like, it looks like really like all of these means that every 2 or 3 arcs, he came back to prove his pen is the mightiest of them all. You know what I mean? That's what makes him the GOAT. And so let us know. Let's see. There's so many. Some people said 10 out of 10. I appreciate it. Somebody said Dragon is the future MVP of Elbath. Oh snap! You think you want Dragon to come back? You're a Dragon believer.
Dragon is. I mark my words. Dragon is top 2 in the verse currently. He's only weaker than Emu. I think he's going to really impress.
Yeah.
I'm a massive Dragon glazer. I think Dragon's going to be an absolute monster when he shows up.
I think he has to be. If he's not, I'm just gonna be so sad. That'll be the chapter when it turns out he's just like a tactician. That's it, which is not a bad. But I want him to be the truth.
He's a prime Monkey D. Like he's gonna be.
That is. Monster. You're spitting because Prime is like 40s and 50s. He is like the promised Monkey D.
I think he's. If I had to guess, I'd say he's fighting Saturn as his final opponent in the series. I think he'll defeat Saturn. There's various reasons for why I think that, but then I think he'll probably job to Emu at the end.
This Warship Island Arc, Rainbow Island Arc, Arcanon. So somebody said that. Interesting. I think you mean Aren't Canon. Sometimes it's hard to the filler arcs are so good it feels like they're main arcs right quick. So Dangerous said 8 out of 10. He disagrees with some of this stuff, and that's okay. Anime Monarch said 8 out of 10 list. That's not bad. I can't laugh like Blackbeard, but I can do an evil laugh. I did my videos. That is my favorite call to action I ever did. It was so fun, and I actually laughed for like 10 minutes because I just did it randomly. I don't know. But anyway, I'll say this. Thank you for stopping by, man. I really appreciate it. This was way more fun than I thought. I was so nervous, but it was really natural, and I always say, dude, you have very good One Piece analysis for somebody who doesn't like mainly focus on One Piece videos. Like your takes on the, like, you're not one of those people that's like, oh, I just hate it because I hate it, or I like it because I like it. You're like, oh, this is why. Like, so you can appreciate underrated stuff and you can depreciate overrated stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, what would you say the main anime you cover is?
The main series I cover is Baki, Monogatari, Record of Ragnarok, and I cover quite a lot. They're probably the 3 big ones I cover. So Monogatari, Baki, and Record of Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Oh, and Jujutsu Kaisen. I do JJK videos quite often as well.
Yeah. So if y'all like those very
I have
deep
done
dives, like
a One
analysis
Piece
videos,
video
right?
before. I've got one Piece video. No, I've got two actually. I've got one talking about ships and one on Garp. But I might make some more.
Yeah, that's cool. So
yeah,
if you just like a plethora of anime, he makes videos on whatever he thinks of. You know, he doesn't just try to like min-max YouTube. He talks about what he wants to talk about, what he's passionate about. You know, kind of like with like, you know, some of like the Tekken style where he might do like a Bleach video or like a One Piece video or whatever. But just a little more like video essay-esque.
They're definitely video essays.
Right. So his link is in the description. It should be like Seth to Sin, right? If y'all enjoyed this. And maybe we'll do it again sometime because this is really fun. Let's see. And then I personally like the filler arcs. And he said add his name. Yeah, to the title. Yeah, Dangerous. It's in the comments if you want, in the description. I'll add it to the title later. And then that should be all. All right, thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. I got to eat and drink my coffee. Man. I miss both. All right, later, man. That's funny. Yo, thanks, guys, for stopping by, man. That was really fun. This is the final tier list. What y'all think? I didn't get to say bye to everybody, but I'm going to try to pull up the chat. Yo, peace out. Thank every single one of y'all stopping by. Yeah, I got to go eat. And everything. Later, Dangerous. Later, Blocks Fruit. Later, everybody watching who ain't commenting. I love my ghost viewers the same. I'm a ghost watcher a lot on myself. And I got to go. Peace.